When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. 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 Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. 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 Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. 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 Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack when I'm traveling. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where y'all free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out.
But what can't be fleeting?
And then you're letting him lead you. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Saying he's led by God, but you feel like God is not telling y'all that. Do you still follow him?
You said something interesting, Ish. You just said like men don't think the way that women do. So it almost sounds like you don't fully trust their expertise. So how could you successfully be led by
So the
one?
majority of men don't have kids. Y'all are picking wrong. Y'all are literally picking the minority.
Every man that's on this panel, y'all have more kids than all of us women.
51% of black men are single and childless.
Excuses for the statistics. The statistics don't bode well in your favor. So you say things like, okay, are they shooting blanks? Or they
Because men, I don't feel like men are overall passive aggressive. The majority of men. Do you think that silence is that passive aggressive? Because we will do that.
Yeah, because there's niggas that'll use that as a way to trigger a woman. Like, because a lot of time a woman will tell you, like, when you're silent, it makes me feel like I'm ignored. So a nigga will do that intentionally.
Yeah, no, I'm just because I didn't agree with the passive aggressive part until Mary said that. I'm like, okay, I can see men and be like, you know what? I ain't saying nothing else. Will unsubscribing from the Democratic Party help fix Black America?
Let's just unsubscribe. No, you got to know why.
I don't think so.
That's the only thing that get black people together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Wow.
Like that.
What I think will fix is if black people truly understood politics.
Because for a guy, because listen, it's so many different reasons for a man to want to hang out with his friends.
Adrian, I'm not gonna let that slide. I heard you. Why do you think that it's older single women who share that opinion?
Sometimes that's the case. There has to be
Explain
balance.
what White History Month is.
It's honoring the achievements of the greatest ethnic group in human history.
Wow.
I think all of that shit deserves a put him in the bathroom.
Would you rather have a whore of a daughter or a gay son?
Let's see here.
bruh.
Because if she's a hoe, that ain't my problem. Hell, she just be a hoe. Shit.
That's a whore. Definitely. Like,
yeah, is going to college a waste of time?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't think for biology. It's ridiculous.
And can I just piggyback on that?
Read this for me, Q.
Okay, $5 super chat from Omega Green. Depends. Go for STEM, medical or law. However, if you go for BS degrees like communications, is that supposed to be policies? Or
poli-sci, political science.
Poli-sci, okay. Yeah. Or criminal justice, it's wasted time.
Final thought.
When you take a man's time, it's like taking his money. When you take a man's money, it's like taking his time. Simply put, we want something for it. If you're not interested, don't go out. Sis, hit me up. Let's clear your coochie balance.
Do women, should they still be covered by men? Do women need to understand what it takes for men to feel like they should be covered by men?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, women don't value men anymore, and it's evident.
For women to admit that they're not equal to their men, women have to come to that conclusion that you are not equal to your man. Are you for spanking? Let's go around the room, yes or no. Q, you for spanking?
Absolutely.
Age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so big kids don't get spankings?
You gotta fight them niggas.
There's no difference between divorced women and single mothers. The man will, in both circumstances, suffer comparably with no benefit to himself. The benefits don't outweigh the cost.
But it's still better to go with someone who hasn't gone through that. It's still better to not choose them.
Have men been getting over on household duties all this time?
Listen, but I don't touch a trash bag to save my life.
So let me ask you, could you and your wife switch roles and what you do versus what for that person hold y'all back or let y'all go?
Physically, can't nobody hold me back.
Ain't no such thing as a fair fight.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We got 'em. 'Cause 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 We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
Yo, DJ Ham Stand P, we in the building.
DJ Ham does it.
This might be risky, man. What's poppin'? Jim, what up?
What's going on?
You tell me, man. When I ever taught you to wear do-rag outside, champ? Huh? You can hear, Playboy.
Nah, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that you should have taught me.
Wow. Shit like that. Shit like that.
No doubt. Love C, welcome. What's good?
Hey everybody. Good evening. Hi.
Right. We like your shirt.
Me too. Thank you.
Shit like that.
Indeed. Welcome. Mr. Payne, what's popping?
All right. Doing okay.
All right.
No complaints.
We good with our talk, right? 30 seconds or less, we straight.
I was trying to stick to it.
Shit like that.
Indeed. Callie Bev, what's good?
What's up, everybody? Good evening.
Hi, Callie.
It's just like a Gen Xer to throw up a gang sign, huh?
Do you hear me?
Shout out to the culture.
Rilla, what's popping? The legend.
What the business is, God. Peace.
Indeed.
Hello.
Everything's everything.
Man, I ain't got no real complaints, man. It's been a lovely day, fam.
Indeed.
Shit like that.
Sharice, what's good?
What's good, man?
You tell me, man. How them white folks treat you on this earth? You all right?
Oh yeah, man. I'm out here chilling in the sticks with my good old white folks. They ain't bothering me.
Perfect. No doubt. Lauren, welcome. What's popping?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Everyone didn't say hi. It was just me.
Hello, hamster.
Wow.
As Abe was popping in the building.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Why you smiling so hard? You straight?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, but I can't see you guys.
That's a problem.
Oh Lord, Auntie got cataracts. Lord.
Oh my God.
That's true.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
I got
Auntie, we need you to put on your glasses.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see us, but it's blurry, is what you're saying.
Right. Yes.
I guess that's the same, isn't it?
We need Auntie to put on her glasses.
Yeah, man. Please.
We love you, Auntie.
Thank you.
Let me see.
You'll get here. Keep living.
Not being able to see that don't sound fun. Wife School became a member. Reese was good. Lionel in the building, of course. Mr. JTK, Mel here. All the regulars. Salute. Straight Shooter was popping. Hall of Fame James. Joel was goody. Bub in the building. DirectionCYOP.com. Go support the merch. You feel me? Matt, what's good? Make sure you keep everybody straight in the chat, Matt. AW in the building. Rainbow Kid here. Jerice on the panel. Almond Eyes in the building. We appreciate you. Aaron here. Shiesty Bum. Lauren. Yeah, man. It's locked in. We got 172 people so far. We have 82 likes. I don't know. What y'all think? Before we get started, what you think they need to get to at least?
Probably 100, and I don't see one moderator in the chat specifically. I ain't gonna call her a name though. But
how many people watching right now?
We have 175 people.
Yeah, I'm full been rocking with you for a while, man. Make the likes match the views, man.
Make
likes match the views. Yeah, make the likes
man.
match the views. Y'all know what time it is.
Wait, hold on. Portia and T ain't in the chat. Hold on, you might need to get on that.
Hey man, I got more. We got more moderators. Matt in the chat, Marcus in the chat. We'll be all right. You feel me?
No, I'm just messing with them because I mess with them offline a little bit. So
indeed. Hey, let's get the likes up, man. Let's do this. Granville was popping. Look. Degenerate, we see you. Empress in the building. Maria. Yeah. Hey, everybody on the panel, stay out the chat. All right. We in here. All right. So the likes, Realist said they need to be at least 175. Shit, we had 111, so why not? Let's get the 160, man, so we can get this conversation started. We had 111 right now, man. Get the likes up so we can get this shit popping. Get the lights up. 118. Hey, if you got it on in the background, you got to turn it off. If anybody's watching it, you can't watch it at the same time. The lights up. 124. Okay. Got 194 people. We need at least 160. $130. We almost there. Let's play this one. Come on, y'all. 132. We got 120 people in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it popping.
Should I throw up a game on my second monitor here while I wait? I said, can I throw up a game on my second monitor while I wait?
No.
Oh, man.
145. We need 15 more so we get it popping. $147. We don't want to do this any more than y'all do. Hey, Love C, you gotta be bopping to the music. I'm gonna get you off the top, man.
You got to move on too, y'all
Put him in the fucking bed. Get him out of here.
100 people we have. 151. God damn. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button.
I know Callie finna start sea-walking.
Got enough time to go to 5.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, if you watch, you gotta turn your TV off or whatever it is. Anybody who playing it in the back, turn your TV off. You can't have the stream on, all right? Yana, go ahead. Are you unmuted?
Yes, I'm unmuted. How do I do this on my computer? This is on my phone.
Do you have the link still?
Yes, but they texted me the link.
All right. So can you email it to yourself, or what do you?
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, and then
Got it.
turn on your computer. Wow, so much
Where's
Generation Z, huh?
Wow.
I'm old at heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Try it.
go ahead. So yeah, just email or Instagram, whatever the case is.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, just go out and come back in. All right. Salute to my brother Dario in the building, man. Dario, he says with $100 super chat to pop the night off. Hamp, Chicago Rilla, and Panel ellipsis. Oh man, this will be good. Rhythm shall be tested again.
Weather outside is humid. She turned up her location. She must think I'm stupid. She wanna run the street, so let her ho, let her ho, let her ho. She doesn't show signs of stopping, so who am I to be cock blocking? I really hate to see you go. Let her ho, let her ho, let her ho.
Shout out to my brother Dario, man. The love is real, man. Every time, you support no matter what. Every time I get a show extension, you often send it before I even say something. So I just want to say I appreciate it wholeheartedly. We're going to continue to grind because of brothers like that putting in that much love. You feel me? So I appreciate you. Let me see. Andre was good with the $5. Says Hamp greatest mob. Appreciate you. The Panel and Rilla was popping. E-Dub became a member. Salute. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Marcus, keep them straight in the chat, man. There's 250 people in here. Let me know where the likes is at, all right? Let's do it. Ro was popping.
What's up, everybody? Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Ro.
What's up, bro?
So when Ayana come back, so Ro had an obligation. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take her. So I'm going to have to rotate the Gen X's when Ayana come in, all right? All right.
Am I muted?
Do it. No, you're not muted. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Get the likes up. Let's get it popping, man. All right. So y'all see these conversations happening up and down these YouTube streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually just a bunch of arguing, fussing, and fighting. And who knows? We may duplicate that effort, right? It is what it is. But I try to assemble people where I'm like, okay, there's thought, there's some feistiness, but at the end, I feel like the people up here want to get to some type of an answer, and they're also not afraid to duke it out. Ariane was popping. Shalom. Kenny, I see you. I'm about to read the rest of the super chats. I got you. What's up, Shanae? Damn, Rainbow Kid was popping. Keep them straight on the likes. Crimson Cure was popping. Welcome.
Yeah, man. That's nice.
Yeah, you right on time. She's like, seem like I'm right on time. All right, so bro, I'm gonna rotate you. All right, I'm gonna bring Yana up so I can get her sound straight and all that. Once she pop up. So let me just start off like this. If this was a hold on, let me test her. Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a little bit of delay. What you got, a Dell?
I have an HP. Relax, like Jesus.
Shit, sound like a Dell to me. you got a delay and all that,
girl. So the internet looking spooky.
Yeah, man.
All right. So should I just go back on my phone?
Yeah, maybe. So that laptop is not laptoping.
All right. We ain't gotta do too much. Not too much.
All right, my bad.
You hit it with the killer cam. I got computers puting.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yo. All right, fix it, Yana, then I'll bring you right back up, all right? Oh, there she go. Let me kick this one. All right, cool. Let me see.
Better?
Check.
Mic check.
Now, last thing, do you have headphones? Is that an Android?
No, it's an iPhone.
Damn, I wonder why you got that feedback. Okay.
She needs
Oh,
headphones.
wait. Oh, yeah, if you have headphones, it'll help. Oh, you have headphones. Okay. Yeah, take those headphones out.
Like her AirPods should work.
No, they were black. I don't know what them were. Unmute yourself.
Okay, is that better?
Check.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
They not AirPods either.
Yeah. So everybody, listen to me close. Do not get baited in by those headphones they got walking down the Marshalls, going to the register. I know the boxes are nice. Don't get baited into that shit. Okay.
Oh man.
I got baited in. Okay. I'm tired of spending money on my AirPods.
Hey Yana, that's my main man though. She used to hold me down at practice, man. Watch the kids, all that. Salute. All right, let's get into it. So let's say it was a comedy show, right? And you got a representative from all the generations present, representing the entire generation. Which generation would be the headliner? Everything you know now, considering downfalls, good things, bad things, indifference, relationships, so on and so forth. When the name is scrolling like it's the Apollo, who would be the headliner?
What generation would be the headliner?
Correct.
X.
Yeah.
All right,
they
let's
pummeled
do
the
this.
bag so hard.
No, the headliner means the best. So let's do this.
Be the baby boomers by far.
Let's do this. Let's get one answer from everybody. Let's start with Lauren. Who would it be, Lauren?
Millennials.
Jim?
Gen Z.
Mr. Payne?
Baby boomers. Baby boomers hands down.
Callie Bev?
It'll be Gen X.
Rilla? Jerice?
If we're talking about like bragging rights and stuff, it's the boomers. They got it. They had the easiest life.
Love C?
Definitely millennials.
Ask Ave?
Definitely baby boomers.
Yana? Did you hear my question? You on mute.
Gen Z.
Okay. So everybody picked their own generation. I could have predicted that, man.
Damn.
Jerice, you picked the boomers. Why would they be the headliners to close this show? Because headliner and closing the show mean that they're the best generation to ever live.
Oh, no.
In my personal opinion, I think the boomers had it way easier than we had, but that's just my opinion, you know, with the housing market and things of that nature. But we've all heard these talking points. But I thought you meant in terms of like who had it like the worst or whatever. So yeah.
No, like who would be the headliner, meaning that's who they coming to see because that's the best generation.
I retract my
like if I could transplant myself into like any generation to live, it'd definitely be the boomer generation.
Okay.
If that answers your question a little bit more specifically, maybe.
Not at all. So you can go last. All right, maybe you'll get some context as other people go. Rilla, why did you biasly pick your own generation?
Because if you look at now listen, I'm gonna say off top, Generation X has definitely got flaws. Definitely effed up in a lot of areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at what Generation X went through, what we get, the culture that, you know, we celebrate. We just celebrated 50 years of hip hop is Generation X. You understand what I'm saying? We survived the crack era. You understand what I'm saying? And we still here. And listen, boomers didn't give us anything. They didn't give us anything. We had to take and make do. We was latchkey kids, fam.
Damn.
Right? We here, fam. Stop playing.
So, Rilla, what do you mean you guys survived the crack era? You mean you didn't die?
I definitely didn't die. That's what I mean by survival.
Oh,
Like,
okay, all right. I just want to clarify.
Yeah. In spite of the crack era, in spite of the '94 crime bill, in spite of everything that was thrown against us, we still here.
Okay. Well, meaning you didn't die though. Would you
That's
say
correct.
that you guys? Would you say that you overcame it, or you just survived it?
No, a lot of people just survived it, brother.
Shit like that.
It's a lot of people that just survived it.
Damn. So if you just survived it, can you really wear that as a badge, like a check mark?
Yeah.
Why?
The fortitude that it takes for you to like, listen. When I say survive, I'm not saying because I don't consider that overcame sense of you exerted a significant amount of effort to overcome these obstacles in that way, right? Like the daily act. So I think about, and this is anecdotal. So I think about again gang culture here, right in Chicago. The act of being able to make it through that era to survive, to me, that's definitely a badge of honor. Right. I don't know what the boomers went through that would be equivalent to that. Maybe racism, maybe white supremacy. I don't know what the millennials or Zs or alphas are going through. That's equivalent to that. But to me, Generation X, you know, they could wear that as a badge of honor, being able to survive all these different obstacles and make it through on the other side of this, in spite of still chasing the American dream.
Okay. Now, do your results? What do you say about the results of going through that era though? Right? Because I get it, it'd be a badge if the results are badge worthy.
So this is the part where I say Generation X effed up in a lot of ways, right? So like for instance, I was down at the school today talking to one of the administrators and we were just going over what they're dealing with, how I can support, so on and so forth. And one of the things that we talked about is the fact that they're dealing with the kids that we raised, they're dealing with their kids now, right? And so that we talking about the parents that'll pull up, jump out, and jump another student or jump teachers and the principal, right? So in that regard, that's the one we gotta hold that L as Generation X, right? In terms of producing results. But at the same time, when you think about opening doors and being able to advance in terms of career paths and stuff like that, in the political arena as well, Generation X has made significant strides in that regard.
Okay. Jim, why did you pick your own generation?
Because we lit.
Put him in the fucking mess. Get him out of here. Come on. Young man's answer.
That's it. You just lit.
What I mean by that, you know, is a variety of things, but we turned up a lot of things, man. My generation, we opposed a lot of things, like when it comes to the work environment, work culture, like it's a lot of stuff y'all was going for, we not going for, and y'all reaping the benefit from
question. Would you also, you saying, you didn't go for a lot of stuff we didn't go for, and you go for a lot of stuff. The gay community has run rampant under you guys' watch. Do you claim that you lit too?
Oh, stop. Don't try to do that.
Well, hold on now. Everybody only want what they want, but you got to own it all.
Stop what you're doing. Who was raising these kids? Who was raising these kids?
Who's raising these kids?
Hold on. Because Jim, my confusion is you said you guys ain't going for the stuff that we going for. So you already said parents move because we know better than y'all. So I'm asking, what about that part?
I mean, with that part, that's like you know, everybody got their stuff with their generation. That's the part. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to associate that. That's insane. You know, that's part of the generation that we trying to get right. We got some shit we still working on over here. You feel me?
Well. Would you say Gen Z is more open to mental health in the Black community than previous generations?
I think we the only ones that even recognize it. You know, like what are we talking about here?
Okay.
You know?
So if you had to flip it, maybe I'm helping you a little bit, because you guys recognize things like mental health and things of that nature. People have a higher comfort level to maybe come out and say, "Hey, I do have this orientation."
I mean, I think it's just created a platform about it, and then social media doesn't help the case as well. It's not like black people or anybody started being gay with Gen X. Nah, you just see it more. Like
Gen Z, you mean?
Yeah, Gen Z. It's more in your face.
Okay. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna dig too much into it. Pause. Okay. Ask Ave.
Yes.
Why did you biasly pick your own generation?
Well, I was thinking differently about a headliner. I picked the headliner because I wanted to go first if I was in the show, because I'd want to tailor the show the way I want it to go.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis?
Oh, yes, they are.
No. So what happens is when people go first, people will just walking in. And then when they see that the headliner's not there, they go back out to the bar and get a drink.
It depends. It depends on who they are and what they're saying. Because I can also channel the crowd to think about what I'm going to say, and then I could leave them thinking about what I said, and they won't even pay attention to the next person.
Yeah, but generally speaking, that would be an outlier incident. When the headline, so when a headline comedian there in a hypothetical, you go last because you're the best.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I change it. That's all.
So, well, you can't change it because it's a hypothetical that has to be answered. So, in terms of answering hypothetically correctly, would you guys be the headliner in that sense? Or wait.
Your way means the headliners are going last.
Yeah, the best goes last. But to Jarice's point, you guys had it the softest and the easiest. So why wouldn't you want to go first? There's no pressure. So that's actually aligned with you guys' generation based on Jarice's understanding. Ain't that how they are, Jarice? They just flow through. It's okay. We were able to buy houses. We were married. So it makes sense that she picked that because it's easy.
Yes, that's what I was getting at with my answer.
Good God. Hey, Jarice, are you related to Miss Cleo?
I'm just an old nigga trapped in a young nigga body. That's it.
Shit like that.
So, ask Abe, do you want to clarify your answer or?
Yeah, let me piggyback. Well,
I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Hang on.
It seems like we had it easy, and that's the thing about those of you who are our children. You think that we've had it easy because we smoothed the road out for you, so you're just cruising through based on what we've done. So that's why you feel like we had it easy because you have it easy.
Okay, well, he'll be back in a second. What did you guys smooth out?
We smooth out the road that you guys are traveling.
What road? If you ask the Gen Xers, look at the Gen Xers' faces. They said y'all was smoking more crack than a little bit and fucked them up. That's why they latchkey kids.
No.
Look at their face. Look at Ro's face.
Not smoking crack.
That's Abe. Look. Callie, what'd you say? I'm bugging or I'm
No. Me and Chigarillo, we weren't smoking crack.
No, Rillo is a Gen Xer. He already
Oh, he was smoking crack?
No, he survived y'all smoking crack. Mr. Payne, over here.
Baby boomer with me.
I'm with you.
Oh, let me put y'all because y'all need to feed off each other, I think. Go ahead, Mr. Payne. Can you help out?
Well, listen, first of all, the baby boomers, we spearheaded the largest and the greatest technological age in the United States ever. Jobs.
I agree.
Jobs with Macintosh, Bill Gates, the invention of the internet that all of you guys are misusing right now. All of that stuff comes from the baby boomer generation. We are the captains of industry, CEOs, presidents, the whole 9 yards. So I'm telling you now, for all of the latchkey kids, you're latchkey kids because both your parents were working. The older baby boomers and the younger silent generation folks, they had to go to work. Like that whole narrative that black women have never had to work before. Mm-hmm. My aunts were from the older baby boomers and silent generation. They all had pensions. They all worked, and they didn't have to stay with their men. they were working their ass off. So this whole notion that the women in the past had to stay with their men, they had no choice, that's feminist bullshit. All right. So let me just say this. Now, we had our foibles and stuff,
I'm
that
bringing
kind
back
of
in,
stuff. But and here I'm gonna land it here, so I don't want to really take it up. One of the things people don't realize, when the pill came out, the baby boomers, the oldest baby boomers were 16 years old. And their mothers, the silent generation and some of the greatest, started putting those young girls on the pill. However, the silent generation women were already stroking like crazy. But when the pill came out, they were unbridled. And the one thing that nobody told them about is that the pill doesn't stop you from getting diseases. Right, so that could be some of the baby. So all I'm trying to say, we didn't start the sexual revolution because the kids in the baby boomer age was only 16. They were still living at home, and then their mothers put them on birth control just so they wouldn't have accidents going through high school and stuff like that. However, we didn't know that birth control pills make women crazy when they get off of that damn thing, but we didn't know that later on. So all I'm trying to say is we get a bad rap from all you kind of guys, but that's okay. We still love you anyway. You're our progeny. And when we die, we're going to transfer more wealth to you guys.
Exactly.
Anybody in history. So let me just land it right there. Because that was that 30, 45 seconds. Okay.
If you say so. First I wanted to. Okay, I ain't gonna challenge. All right, let me get a couple more answers first. Lauren Mack.
Hello.
Why did you biasly pick your own generation?
Because we're amazing.
Obviously. Why?
We took what we didn't get from the baby boomers, and we got some of the wit and energy from Gen X, and we created this evolution of the world where we can be lazy and still make money.
We paved the road for you.
I can't give you that last one, that's for sure.
Damn. Okay. I guess that's a flex. C, anything to add on why you picked the millennials?
I mean, aside from us already being the best generation, we've been through life without internet, life with internet, social media, the first Black president, September 11th, the Great Recession. We had AOL discs that came in the mail to get our internet dial up. We had the first reality TV. We had the best cartoons. We've got everything. We got content for days before content was a thing on YouTube. Like literally millennials took the discipline of the previous generations and held on some more sense than the generations behind us. And we got the best of both worlds.
So you're saying we can do it all?
So we can do everything.
Yeah.
You are a millennial, right, Lovesy?
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do everything. We got the best of both worlds. Okay. Callie, why'd you pick your own generation?
Because we have seen it all. We experienced 8-tracks, cassette tapes, CDs, the hip hop. We watched that transition. We still know the old school, and we are able to adapt to the new school as well. So we're just more well-rounded.
Okay. So your exposure to 8-track tapes got you guys further than MP3 and iPods.
that big old boom box they was carrying on the side of their shoulders.
I'm saying is that we are familiar with all of it. We are well-rounded.
What did you do with it?
Yeah.
What'd you do with it?
What do you mean? What do we do with it?
What'd you do with it?
I just told you, Hamp. They carried it around on their shoulders with a piece of cardboard.
You hear? So okay. So the millennial. So the Gen X.
All the music that y'all like, that's us or whatever. Y'all tried to remix it and then y'all swirled it down the toilet with all this snap music and all that other mess. Um, what else? Y'all don't even have any physical media anymore. So you know what I'm saying? All of us who still have CD books and all that kind of stuff like that, we still got that. So if the movie Leave the World Behind comes about, we gonna be the only ones surviving because y'all ain't got no physical media. We'll be the ones that'll be able to adapt. We are the adapters.
Don't get really started when he gonna pull out all these vinyls.
Right. They had to buy the whole CD. See, we had Napster. We just picked the songs we liked and burned our own CDs.
And ruined the music industry.
Yeah, shout out to LimeWire.
So,
But not
all right.
yeah.
So if I was being objective, listening to the answers, I ain't gonna lie. The boomers, when Mr. Payne followed up, they did more shit.
Yeah, we did everything. We paved the way.
Unless we missed something. Because look at this. Jim said we lit. Rilla and them had to survive through dope. And Mr. Payne, even though they smoked hella dope, and the family started dissolving in the 1970s, they did create Apple.
And our music was far better
Then what?
than every generation that came after us. Music in the 70s, you can't touch it. DJ.
That shit trash. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, I'd have to co-sign that because all of the music that we listened to, we sampled that and then y'all sampled our samples.
Don't nobody listen to
You
that.
said you sampled ours?
Yeah,
y'all just don't know y'all listen to it.
You tried it, but you didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, G-Funk, yes, we did know what to do with it. G-Funk, that's all I gotta say is Dr. Dre. But whatchamacallit? But then the millennials and the Z's, they took it. There's like 3 different versions of
Where
one
did this
song from
where
the
did this sample come from?
Yo, I go by the name.
What the fuck were y'all playing in the 70s that sounded like that?
Nothing. We don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about we sample everything.
We have a groove to our music.
Come on, man.
You leave Auntie alone. Let her jam her Earth, Wind, and Fire.
But y'all jamming it too. Y'all just
The
don't know
music
it.
that we have is time warp music. You put on the music from the 70s and the 80s, you got it takes you immediately back there. The stuff you have, nobody's gonna be playing your Sukihana stuff two minutes from now.
Right.
Or whatever. So we gotta stop all the crap.
Yeah, it does sound good. I ain't gonna lie. I was hating. Damn, man. So did the baby boomers pave the way, Jerice, or did they have it easy?
Most definitely. They paved the way, but they also had it easy in certain aspects, such as getting homes and things like that. But now our generation, well, let me just say millennials, my generation sits around and complains all day about this invisible white boogeyman that sits in the bush that stops them from getting jobs and stuff. So, yeah, boomers faced real issues. My generation likes to pretend they have issues when they really don't.
Okay. So you did mean to pick the boomers then?
Yeah, I most definitely did.
So
thank you, Jerice.
So when it's easy doesn't mean that you still can't have it make the best strides or the most strides.
Exactly.
Okay. And so Jerice, when you think through it, isn't that almost an issue in our community that we think struggle is always a badge of honor?
There's good and there's bad struggle, but a lot of people want to make struggle when they really don't have to be in struggle. Like, for example, I lived in Northwest Cypress, Houston. It's the suburbs, but I had females and males in my school pretending like they was from 3rd and 5th Ward. So it's like, y'all ain't struggling. Y'all live in a 2-story house, but y'all want to pretend like y'all struggling just because it's cool in Black culture. So that's what it really is.
Can I just add one thing, before we go further off the bill, just real quick? We didn't really have it easy. That's a misnomer, but I'll stop it right there. And when I come back around, I'll explain that to you. We didn't have it easy.
Okay. Yana, you been listening? What's your take? Why is your generation the best?
Okay, I want to retract my statement. I want to say that baby boomers definitely got it for sure. Cause like I'm 22, but like I'm a young girl trapped in an old person's body. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. But like even in the 70s, they had good music. Like my first song that's gonna come up on my playlist,
Uh-huh.
Al Green, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye. Like these are my go-tos.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's baby boomers for sure for
Okay.
me.
See, because you like the
Right.
music.
Cause I like the music and like I'm piggybacking off of like what everybody else said. Like Black culture is like struggle, poverty, but like half of us come from a 2-parent home, live in the suburbs. It's just crazy.
Mm. But you're saying things struggle is exalted, right?
Yeah.
Millennials, man, I'm kind of disappointed, man. I thought we had the crown, but based on what we articulated, do we have to give it to the boomers, or did we leave some stuff out?
Hamp,
Why
aren't
are
you
you
X?
saying we? Yeah.
Hamp, aren't
First
you
off, I'm
X?
38, you dickhead.
That doesn't that make you X?
No, that's 1985.
Exactly.
What exactly? What?
All right, pardon
Gen
me.
X.
No, Gen X stops in 81, I think.
1980. I'm the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millennials start 81 to 96.
Yeah. Lauren.
You barely made it, but
Wow.
because at a point in
Same.
time, me and Jim were qualified as millennials. Now they done changed it, so we Gen X.
They changed it.
Yeah, they changed it. But you know, if you ask me, I'm a millennial. I won't hear nothing about it.
Hey, shout out to the Gen Zs that want to be Gen X so bad. I done heard two Gen Zs say Gen X. Shout out to y'all, man.
Did I say that? I did, probably. It's okay.
Damn. So, what's the consensus answer? Is there a consensus, or everybody sticking to their guns?
I'm sticking to my guns.
All I heard was that we had good music. Are we gonna really base this off of what type of music was being made at the time? Like, come on, y'all. Come on.
Well, listen.
The boomers had to struggle the most, but they got to reap the benefits of the rewards of what they struggled for. Like, point blank, period. Like, they had to endure the most bull, and so they got to reap the rewards of it. That's just the end of it.
But usually that's not how it works. When you endure a lot of hardship, usually it's the generation next that benefits from the hardship that you endure. So I'm not understanding that point.
Yeah, but the culture has us wanting to regress because look at T.I.'s son. T.I. is literally a millionaire, and look at his son talking about, I stand on business. You want to go to the bando by me, my house. Come on now.
But I don't know if that. But Jerice, did you address what he said though?
All right, say it again, Jim, and I'll address it more directly.
I said usually the generation that endures the most struggle isn't the one that benefits from that struggle. It's the next generation that's able to benefit off of the work that they put in.
Yeah.
Oh, and then most definitely we have all millennials and Gen Z that's after us and Alpha. Yeah. Y'all coasting now.
So
y'all
that's
got these work from home jobs and y'all just
Ain't no
chilling.
more pensions though.
I
Pensions went away in the early 80s. So all the stuff
Hold
that the
on,
boomers
let
worked
them-
for.
Well,
Okay.
hold on, Callie. Let him just finish. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I was just saying I don't think we can all come to that consensus because it's an illegitimate title. I don't think that we really thought this through. Everybody was just like, you know what? We like Al Green. We're gonna give it to him. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I mean, can I say something? I just feel like for headliners, if we were gonna do a headliner to answer that question, I say that Gen Z or millennials, they could be the headliner because, as he said, like the headliner, you're just supposed to, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. You know, so like if you catch the show, you do. But if you don't, you don't, and it's okay either way. But like me personally, I would go see. I'd be pressed to go see Mary J. Blige before I go see Megan Thee Stallion or something like that.
So back to music, huh?
I mean, that's just the first thing that comes to mind if we gonna Yeah.
But
We
think
said
even when it
headliner.
comes, I think even when it comes to culture, when there's a certain age gap within Black people, the whole culture changes, and the essence of what culture means changes. So I feel like I don't think that, even when we having conversations, when the age gap is too different, it's like they talking in a different language. So I feel like Gen Z would be the one to really like, we gonna entertain everybody. If you the closing, and you got everybody sitting there waiting, you got to make everybody night, like you got to entertain everybody. I feel like Gen Z would do that the best in that situation.
We are pure
No.
entertainment.
Nobody wants to hear all that
That's it.
noise.
Hey, which headliner, which generation Z headliner they done had at the Super Bowl already? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So, and this is the thing, Ham. I don't want to diminish. Jesus Christ, diminish. They gonna clip that, man. Diminish
Got
the
'em.
music piece, right? Because you're speaking to culture. So when you speak about culture, you're speaking about art. You're speaking about music. You're speaking about fashion. You're speaking about food. You're speaking about language. So I acknowledge boomers and give them their props in the sense of they did pave the way. They opened a lot of doors for us, right? I'm saying Generation X took that and ran with it. We took that, ran with it, built on top of it. What I will give millennials credit, I think that was Lovely C. No, not you, Lauren. Lovely C, who built on the fact that what are you talking about? Y'all were adapting or whatever. But you were saying how you seen y'all have been able to see it all and took what Gen X did and built on that. So it's supposed to go in that route, in that way, right? But one thing I can say, especially if because listen, hip hop is the biggest cultural export of this country, and it's a multi-billion-dollar, if not trillion-dollar industry. So I don't, when we refer back to the music piece, I don't want to diminish that part of it either, right? We do come from a culture and a background of great, theologians, philosophical thinkers, people, what I'm saying, engineers, like all that exists. And I'm pretty sure more of y'all are educated to speak to those things from your generation. I just don't want to diminish the music part because that does speak to culture. And there was a lot of communication through the music. When in the 70s, when you had James Brown singing Black and Proud, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. You had a whole wave of Black power movement, the Black fist raised, afros, all that. And then there was I don't want to pull a Mr. Payne. I'll pipe down. Camp. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, listen, I mean, if I can get a say,
I can
this
talk
is one
about
of the
my
things,
marriage for 100 years.
one of the greatest things that the baby boomers have done for all the other generations since we were married at a high percentage, and this is a negative and a positive, we buffered all of those illegitimate kids. We buffered all your grandmothers and buffered all of those illegitimate kids that were born. And I could just go by my family, and it was a lot of them. And none of them in my family went unfed, uneducated, unhoused, or they just had everything. And it was arrested development for their mothers because because the kids came home with their mothers. And so we kind of carried and see. And now that the baby boom is going to start to die off, that kind of buffer, that kind of safety net is going to go away. You're not going to ask Gen Zs to do that for you. It ain't happening. And for millennials, probably not. So maybe X's, yeah. But we buffered a lot of stuff because we were married. And then I'm gonna end it here. And it wasn't easy because before I grew up, I lived in a house in Harlem with 14, 15 people in the house. And my bedroom had an Irish setter in it, two of my cousins, and a cot. And the roaches, and we had a crack in the wall, and we had to draw straws to see who slept by the crack. And the roaches came out at night. So, and don't tell me nothing about easy, So I credit my aunts for getting us out of there, my grandmother and grandfather. So when we moved to the Bronx, because they were working.
So
so
yeah,
I'll end it there.
No doubt. So any final thoughts on who should be the headliner?
Yeah, our music. My turn?
I'm sorry.
I like our music because the men weren't afraid to sing about the love they had for
we were
women.
Sims.
Yeah, that's simp music. That's simp music, Auntie.
Order is
which caused the women to respond in a loving and a softer way. But now the men have gotten away from doing that, and now they're called simps. But the men of the 70s, they didn't feel like they were simps.
No,
They
they
were
weren't.
strong enough and confident enough to know that they weren't simps.
That music made a lot of baby mamas and a lot of baby daddies, Auntie.
Yes, it did.
That music made a lot of weddings too.
Yes,
That music made a lot of weddings too.
But the opposite is also true.
Man, I'm not gonna lie.
And we know a lot of oops babies. Let's not cap. We know a lot of oops
I'm not
babies.
gonna lie about that. You know.
All right, let me see something real quick. Hold on, cause Yana, I'm bringing you right back. All right.
Okay.
Bro, just stay there. I'm gonna bring you right back. Are you gonna let them get away with this shit?
I put my thoughts in the back check. Boomers, you know good and well that y'all created a generation of crash dummies. At the end of the day, Generation X was used and abused and left to fend for ourselves. You all know that. You said yourself that most of the two-parent households, they were working. We were latchkey keys because we had to open the door, cook for ourselves, cook for our basically struggle. Yeah, I guess it makes us strong, but it's still a struggle. A lot of us grew where we didn't know how to communicate with each other, right? We don't have successful relationships for that reason.
No, my kids didn't have that experience because I was there for them. They weren't latchkey.
Well, see, even if you were there, and so that right there, when y'all say I was there for them, have you had a conversation with them and asked them how they felt? So y'all don't have those conversations with us. Y'all just assume.
They tell us how they feel. You guys don't mind.
Let me be clear. I'm not judging anybody because, again, my parents are part of your generation. What I'm trying to say.
That's good. The judgment is good, but a lot of your parents were from the silent generation as well. You got to remember.
Well, no, my parents weren't. My parents are. My parents were not. They were baby boomers.
Oh wait, I accept that too.
So, and my grandparents were part of that silent generation and had their 12 kids and whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, let's just all be very real about the situation. Generation X were crash dummies. We were the test generation. We were. And even though we're the most adaptable, don't get me wrong, workforce, we're the most adaptable to automation and everything of that, but we were the crash dummies. And it does affect us as adults. It affects us as parents. And we can't take that out.
Can I say one thing to you though that I agree with? You guys took the brunt of the crime bill in '94.
We did.
You did. There's no doubt about that.
I was talking to my senior, 18-year-old, and I realized that my high school class, the class of 1998, was the first class where we had a school shooting. And ever since then, they've gone up.
Callie, you were also mentioning something about the money being gone, dried up.
Yeah, the boomers, they pretty much, they still control politics to this day. They still in there. Gen X has zero room. We don't even have the numbers. Even if we wanted to take over, Gen X does not have the numbers to do anything political wise. It's going to be up to the millennials and the Z's from henceforth. You know what I'm saying? Since the boomers are starting to retire out. But yeah, they
die out. You mean die out? Die out.
Yeah. I was trying to be tactful, but
hey, y'all didn't want to fight for term limits sooner, so this is on y'all.
Well, we don't have the numbers, sir. That's the problem.
No, I'm talking to the older generations.
Oh yeah, we don't have the numbers to do anything. We have all these ideas and no way to implement them at all whatsoever. But yeah, they pretty much they wrote themselves in to have a good economy, and then they closed the door behind them.
That's not true at all.
That's just that's politically, yes, y'all did.
So, can you expand on that? How do we expound on that? I don't think that's true.
It's just
we'll just say Ronald Reagan. and we'll just leave it at that because everything started swirling down the toilet when he got into office.
And let's even move closer. Let's move.
I think I'm with Ronald
Let's
Reagan.
move a little closer. Let's move a little closer to now.
Okay.
Your average age of a U.S. congressman is what age, guys?
Old as hell.
50 plus, 60 plus.
65.
Again, this is because the prior generations didn't want to talk about term limits until now magically. But we won't talk about that one.
No, we've been talking, but we're the middle child. Nobody hears us.
Like, let's also, if we really want to go down the rabbit hole about politics, let's also talk about the fact that we let them play the stock market with money that they take out of our taxes to fund their paychecks. But I don't know how deep y'all want to get into it, but
well, we're not gonna go that.
Are you for baby boomers or not?
Nah, I'm just talking about politics in general.
Well, baby boomers, because there's more of them, they still make more money than all the generations as far as wealth is concerned.
Percentage wise, or like pound for pound, or that you saying volume? So if all things being
more money.
What I'm saying is all things being equal, they make more money, or because they have more people, they bring in more money.
Well, because they have more people that actually worked and have pensions and retire, outside of pensions, retirement, as far as 401ks and things like that. Like my father retired from 2 different areas and he got 2 pensions. You know what I'm saying?
Let me clarify my question. So if it was 10 millennials standing there and 10 boomers, the boomers have higher earnings.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right, man.
You don't want to teach us nothing.
What'd you say?
You got to figure it out on your own.
Well,
like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read these super chats real quick. Kenny with the $2 says, checking in. What's popping, Kenny? Shanae, what's good? She says, what's up, Hamp and panel? What's good, Shanae? Dating Pool says, salute. Matt P with the $2 says, black men getting money and sharing. Isaac was popping with the $2 says, what's good, y'all? Fat Boy said, I'm back. Salute, bro. No Cupcake Zone with the $2 is naming, I think these are Gen Xers, I assume. Elon, Jobs, Jay-Z, Biggie, 50, Nas, Puffy, Jordan.
Not Jobs, though.
Shit like that.
The dating pool with the 20 ball says, not my gender, but the greatest social change for blacks came about during the boomers. Led the charge in rights, protesting, and advocating for blacks. Turned the heat up on the government to change things for blacks the most. Ariane was popping with the $5 says, Gen Y seen everything from the boomers to Gen Z. We watched the world shift and watch it shift again now. I got a list that other Gen Zs don't understand. John Henry was popping with the $10 says, the 90s was open season on black men via police brutality because every black man over the age of 16 years was construed to be a drug dealer or gangbanger. Gen X black males definitely survived atrocity. MC Heavy Tits was popping. She says, hello to the panel and chat. Fat Boy with the $2 says, damn, Lauren, I like that smile. Romello was good with the $5 says, boomers walk 7 miles a day to school in snow, uphill. Get the fuck out of here. Put these boomers in the bathroom.
Put them in the fucking bathroom. Get them out of here. Come on.
Gen X forever. Matt P with the $2 says, millennials winning. I agree with Chat Warrior LM. Yeah, man. No Cupcake with the $2 says, DJ Hamp, name one original song. I'll wait. All right, cool. MC Heavy Tips with the $5 says, representing Gen X. We played records including 45s, 8-tracks, cassette tapes, CDs, Napsters, and streaming. I ain't never seen nobody from Gen X use no damn Napster. Y'all better stop. The only thing I seen y'all do advance was go to the movie theater, record the movie, and then try to put it on a DVD.
Oh my God, this man's on my bootlegs.
I was there for that, goddamn. Them was the worst bootlegs I ever seen.
I can't stand niggas.
The dating pool with the $5 says, boomers paved the road for you to be lazy, not get your doors kicked in, discriminated against. Most y'all haven't even felt racism because of boomers. You can't make this shit up with the $2. A lot of rap was sampled from the baby boomers. Yeah. samples. Ariane with the $2 says, what gen would survive and rebuild faster in a reset? That's actually a good question. Let's hold on to that question, Ariane. Bravado with the $5. What's up, Bravado? Says, salute to the crew tonight. Salute, bro. No Cupcake with the $2 says, Curtis grinding was a sample of Curtis Mayfield. I didn't see that, but he might be right. No Cupcakes on the $2 says, DJ Ham, name one original song. I'm waiting. Give a fuck. Romello with the $5 says 70s babies are Gen X. Stop tiptoeing in 60s and 80s babies. Okay. Shout out to Romello. Ariane with the $2 says millennials know everyone at the party. DJ. Yeah, man. I'm chilling because I'm just moderating, But right now, Love C, Lauren, and Jerice. Miss Deb with the $10 says Gen X was the most rounded in jobs, trade skills, technology, and corporate, and made HBCUs a thing. No Cupcakes over the $2 says Gen X, Usher, R. Kelly, Mary, Rick Ross, Jay-Z. MC Heavy Tips with the $5 says, I will say that Gen X is the last generation that understands that not everyone can be an entrepreneur and the world needs worker bees. Okay. Ariane with the $2 says, why we keep talking music got facts besides tunes? John Henry with the $10 says, greatest generation, 1901 to 1924, silent, 1925 to 1945, baby boomers, 1946 to 64, X is 1965 to 80, Generation Y, the millennials, 1981 to 96, Gen Z, 97 to 12, Gen A, 213 to 225. Mark with the $5 says, men got away with making a romantic music because women stopped respecting men who care about their feelings. T.O. with the $5 says, simp music and heartbreak while they was throwing that pussy music like Fantastic would say. I can't say it like man, Fantastic. Big Bad Boy with the $10 says, y'all sound like y'all had some jacked up families. I appreciate all my family generations before me. They all played a very instrumental role of my success today. They would want me to do better. Mark with the $5 says, boomers also sold our neighborhoods off as they inherited. You can't make this up with the $2 says, it was our artists on Napster, Gen X, we used it all. Valerie says, hey, what's up, Valerie? John said, I used Napster. No, you didn't. Joe with the $5 says, them boomers and X's were messing up their credit with those 12 CDs for 1 cent from Columbia House. No way they knew about Napster and Kazaa. Exactly, bro. Ariane with the $2 says, nah, come on, let me defend our generation. I got us. Well, if they don't put their dukes up soon, Ariane, man, I might have to give you the link, man. Damn. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Damn. So what do you guys think the state of our community is, our culture is right now? If you had to grade it from A to F. Jim?
Say it one more time.
State of the culture, black culture, as it stands. What would you grade it from A to F?
Probably like a D.
D?
Yeah.
C? What you think?
Yeah, I'd say a D.
D?
D,
Callie?
yeah.
I'll give it a C minus.
Rilla?
Yeah, no, it's a D minus borderline F, fam.
Ask Abe.
A.
Mr. Payne?
F minus.
Damn.
F
Ro?
minus. It's dire straits.
C minus.
Sharif?
Truancy. That nigga ain't even going to school.
Damn.
No, I'm just playing. D.
Yana?
Not gonna lie, I did not hear the question.
What if
Put
you had
her
to
in the
grade
bathroom.
if you have to grade our culture right now, what would you grade us from A to F?
I'm giving us the E.
Damn. So you saying below F, huh? Or does it mean excellent? Okay.
Nah. E for effort.
For effort.
E for effort.
Okay. So let's talk about it then. Again, from the generation standpoint.
I think my generation as a whole, we're failing altogether. Like,
Well,
I mean,
my question is, what
yeah.
generation started to decline?
Ooh. I'm
What's a
not gonna
better
lie.
what's a better question? What generation started to decline or damn near destroyed it?
I'll say that Generation X started the decline because that's like when my parents started. Not talking about my parents, but they ain't the best, my boy. Y'all, they created me. So if I'm like this, my little brother is the way that he is, and my sister is the way that she is. If us three are just like that, I can't imagine what the rest of them are like.
Jeez.
Same.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not bad or nothing, but like best.
Damn. Okay, so you saying they messed the culture up, Gen X.
The Gen X day, because I don't want to say it was just the women, but like the women, I don't know what happened or what started to happen, but like I feel like that's when the mental health check should have started. Because if they would have checked in with them mentally, they would have been able to check in with us mentally and a lot better. Because just being there isn't enough.
Damn. Go ahead, Ro.
I agree. And I just said, the boomers, like I said, left us out there as crash dummies. I use that as an analogy because crash dummies actually were started in the 80s for cars, like to test them out. And I believe that we were left out there to fend for ourselves, that we forgot that we needed to take care of ourselves because nobody taught us to do it.
Okay. So
I feel like that's when the hyper independency started, like I don't need a man and I can do it myself and all that good stuff. I feel like that's where it started. So that's why I'll say that the generation started to decline. They set us up for failure.
So you agree that Gen Z is responsible for the current state of the culture? I mean, Gen X?
Yes.
No, I'm saying, Ro, you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
Of course, not individually, because some of us, got the work, did the work, got the counseling. So we're not doing it for the next generation of kids.
I don't play the sum game.
Exactly. So as a whole, yes, I agree.
The majority, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Really, what you think?
Yeah, no, listen, I've been on my whole campaign with Generation X effed up, man. Damn. This is one of the ones where we got to hold that L. I'm going to tell you why. So Jim talked about earlier how, the next generation is supposed to benefit from your hard work and sacrifice, right? Now, here's the thing. We were so busy working to give our kids what we didn't have. We didn't give them the lessons and the wisdom and insight to teach them how to get it and how to maintain it. Remember my era, I remember seeing people going to buy baby Jordans just so they could, when they had their baby and their baby grew out of them, they could hang them on the rearview mirror for a little trinket or whatever, right? And this is how misplaced we were. You know what I'm saying? Financial, everything. So to Rose's point, yeah, there were a few of us that made it out, but also we were the ones who were taught, go to school, get a job, raise a family. So what we do, go to school, get a job, move to the suburbs, never come back to the hood. You don't bring none of that insight, wisdom, and resources back. And then again, we're living with the results of those decisions. We're seeing that play out in front of us. So yeah, this is one of them times where I say Generation X got to hold that L.
Damn. Okay. So as Abe, you go ahead, Kelly. You want to?
I was gonna say, and then as far as like the music or whatever, as far as gangster rap, although we did have different genres of music that was going on, we had the gangster rap, we had the feel good music, we had the dance music, all that kind of stuff. The gangster music took over, and then now the generations behind us are trying to imitate what we were actually, rapping about. So the line became blurred between what is actually really happening on the streets versus what people are just rapping about as far as just lyrics. That line got blurred, and now I think that the life is trying to imitate the art now.
It's actually doing its thing, because now you have rappers openly rapping about killing each other and the rappers' brothers and stuff, and you have YouTubers making videos about it and getting monetized off of it. So the ignorance is promoted.
Is that new though?
No, definitely not. Shout out to DJ. Never mind. Y'all
Well,
know.
no,
Y'all
just-
know who he
Yeah,
is.
don't get that clown. No oxygen.
Yeah, that's a joke I do. Yeah, y'all know who he is. Small hat dude.
I don't. So the because I know Hit 'Em Up. Really, are there any other songs that was that like No Vaseline felt like more of a joke? Like
No. What Cali talking about, Hamp, you had like Spice One, you had
Yeah.
Compton's
Oh,
Most
okay.
Wanted. But here's the thing, this is where I give a little bit of pushback though, Cali, because that gangster rap was what really happened was like, especially in Chicago, when you got wind of an NWA or what was going on in LA, it's like, oh, that's what's going on out there. Like, and it gave you insight and visibility into what was going on in other people's neighborhood. And again, this is where I say music is our way of communicating. You wouldn't know what's going on in Atlanta if they wasn't rapping about it. You wouldn't know what Luke and them was doing, and that was their real culture. So in the early days, it wasn't people like faking the front or putting on a facade. They was either rapping about what they seen or what they did and what they knew. Easy E was really that dude. You see
Yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
know. Well, that's what I was saying. Like
But
after
once
the
you get
fact.
corporate involved, this is why like once you get corporate, the music business is gonna do what it do. Q-Tip told y'all, you know what I'm saying? Rule number 4080: record company people are shady. Period. Point blank. Innocent. So once you get corporate interests involved, then that's when you get to promote the heavy oversaturation of one particular type of music that we hear on radio to this day.
Right. Well, that's why I was saying that after the fact, it turned into life imitating the art instead of the art actually just being, just straight up reporters.
So in 2024, it looks like King Von, FBG Duck, and what's that dude in Atlanta that's getting tried right now that made the lifestyle song? Young
You
Thug.
talking about
Yeah.
Thug or Lucci?
Both of them.
So here's the thing. I don't want to make this a whole music thing, but with Vaughn and them, they really was rapping about what's going on here. The crazy thing, most people that you meet from Chicago, it's like y'all really are fascinated what's going on that one block. It's 63rd and King Drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's y'all really that fascinated with what's going on? It's Parkway Gardens. It's like row houses. And it's not that big a deal to us. It's like, oh, that's just them little homies over there beefing with each other over whatever they beefing over, right? Now some of these other cats, I can't think of the young blood name who homie got popped when he was in LA, and then he renounced his quote unquote set. One of the Lils, right?
I know what you're talking about though.
What's the overarching?
The
though?
overarching point is that some of these cats really are rapping their real life. That's my point. You do have though, like a lot of other cats that are rapping a facade, like they really Theo Huxtable thugs.
Okay, so
You know
you're
what I'm
just
saying?
talking to Cali Bev in terms of the art imitation, like back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
but
I
she
landed
said,
there.
but no, but I think I heard her when she's saying the rappers for you guys' generation were rapping, but there were people out there doing it in the street, but the artists weren't so much involved, right? But I think
it's flipped.
Now the artists are. She's saying that now people are doing what they rapped about, and really just saying that the rappers also do what they rap about.
Well,
Maybe even more so.
The rappers from
My bad. I was
Generation
responding
X
to
were
Jerice in
rapping.
particular, though. That's
Generation X rappers were rapping about their former lives. Okay. They're rapping about what they used to do. They weren't actually out there doing it. I mean, we can go all the way up to
I don't want to
T.I.
talk
and
about
them.
rappers no more.
I feel like our generation to make a song about how they just hit a lick and made a play and all this good stuff and then go do it. It's like you just gave them your plan, dude. Like
Self-snitching.
They snitch on themselves and then go do it.
Yeah, the culture.
But who did they get the platform from though? You feel me? Like I think like that just goes to show like the example that was before us. Like that's what we were seeing. So I mean, the rappers now we rapping. You feel me? We rapping about what we doing. That's what we thought y'all was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
But bring it back. So let's bring it back to the question though. What generation is responsible for the state of the culture today? Most. I mean, everybody has a hand in it, right? But in terms of having the most percentage points,
that's what we're saying. X. That's why even when it
X.
comes to the culture being heavily impacted by music and stuff, like you can call it oversaturation, but in reality, I mean, a lot of that really was just going on. So I mean, yeah, it was personified by the industry, but at the end of the day, I feel like, I mean, we know what's going on in our communities. You can look outside for the most part.
Word. Now let's ask Ave. You
Yep,
said you give us an A.
I
Okay.
do.
Who's responsible? How do you qualify the A, and then who's responsible for us being an A today?
Okay, because you said in our culture, right? What do I give our culture? And I give us an A because, I just don't see us as being wrong. I mean, we're living out a life that where nothing was handed to us. We've come through struggles that no other culture has, and we're still moving. And every generation is you're just responsible for your own self. And that's the way that I tell my kids to live. Like you're responsible for yourself. They make a choice to be good or bad. All you can have 5 children and they all act differently, and you raise them all the same. So everyone's responsible for themselves, including the generation. And I see no wrong in Black folk. Like we
So you're
good.
saying so? Did, did you tune into the show yesterday?
Um, yes.
So all those factors, we were largely sitting at the bottom of a totem pole, versus other races of people and cultures of people. So because you are measured versus your counterparts, so how do you give us an A if we lead in some of in the majority of the worst categories in the
Because I
U.S.?
don't believe we're sitting at the bottom of the totem pole. I
Okay.
believe a lot of that is just propaganda. Um, who's making the stats? You have to take that into account. I, for one, have never filled out a stat. So I've never filled out a survey. I don't fill out the census right. I
Mm-hmm.
have 15 kids. It just, so that's how I think a lot of other people think. So you can't take that stuff. You have to take it with a grain of salt.
Are
These
they prop?
surveys
Are
and
they?
stats that you guys
Are,
often cite.
okay. Are they propagating? You think the body's dropping?
Do I think what?
That's propaganda. Like, are we really shooting and doing each other like they say?
No, I think a lot of it is sometimes white people put on blackface and go in those communities and shoot.
Okay.
Wow.
And then what about the abortion stats and things of that nature? You think those are propped up?
Yes, I think especially the abortion, because they say that we have all these children and we continue to have children, but yet and still they say we keep having all the abortions. So which ones is it? Make sense?
You're saying that we have the most kids, but then we also have the most abortions, so it's
Yes,
contradictory.
yes.
Okay. What about the
Wait, Gen X as
homeless?
a generation has the most kids?
No, no, just people. She's saying she said we're A plus in terms of
Oh,
black culture. So she
oh.
pushing against the statistics that are out there. What about the homeless population? You think they driving that up too?
Yes, they're driving that up because I have a home where I house the homeless and I have 4 white guys in there.
Hmm.
So
Go
just
ahead.
by my anecdotal experience, and they often traipse through, and it's 90% white who I have to house.
Oh, you can. Go ahead, Ro.
Miss ask, is it Ave? Sorry. What part of the country do you live in? You could just say south, east, north.
Oh, you're talking to Ask Abe?
Yes, ma'am. Ask Ave.
Oh, okay. Um, Connecticut.
Okay. So, do you know the percentage of Black people that live in Connecticut compared to the Black people that live in Maryland?
Do I know the percentage of what? My phone, I can't hardly hear. What did
The
you say?
percentage of Black people that live in Maryland compared to the Black people that live in Connecticut?
The percentage Maryland versus Connecticut?
Yes, ma'am, for Black people that's live there.
Oh, I'm thinking it's what? Is it Maryland like 99% Black?
About 87%. It's a large amount.
87%? Okay. And we're probably like 25, 30%.
And so I asked this question because I live outside of Baltimore. And when I see crimes being committed, they're mostly committed my news. Now, it might just be that they're just showing the Black kids committing the crime, but for the most part, that's the most of them that are committing the crime. So are you saying that that's, yes? Are you saying
because
that
that's the most people you have are Black, right? Wouldn't that make sense?
No, what I'm trying to say is if we see the crime and we see that the crime is being committed by most of these younger Black kids, are you saying that that is a fallacy? That is
Here's the thing. My white friends, okay, for example, my friend, she sent me a picture of her son's car. This white woman sent me a picture of her son's car tipped over. And she said, oh my goodness, the police is here. You know, my son, he's going to get in trouble. His car is tipped over. Then she sent me a text back and she's like, oh, he said, my son's been through enough. Go home. And that's the difference. That's that white privilege that they have. The boy did wrong, but we'll never know. So just because their kids don't show up in the courthouse doesn't mean they're not doing wrong.
Well, that's what Hemp was saying. Yesterday's show, we actually looked at governmental stats, looking at how many are committing certain crimes, what type of crimes, and at the rate compared to the counterparts. We looked at the marriage stats. How many of us are getting married? How many of us are marrying each other? All of those stats were important because the only thing that we showed high up on was, Hemp, I think it was our Black fathers involved, and what was the other thing, Hemp? And murders, right? Or deleting or whatever y'all call it.
High meaning positive?
High meaning high, period. Not negative or positive.
High in? What do you mean?
Wasn't it murders?
Yes. So we
had
high in
murders,
high in deletions, and then our Black men were high in their showing up for their children. So that's a positive and a negative. But everything else was low. Everything else, every other statistic, we either scored low, income-wise, job-wise. We all pretty much were on the low end of the totem pole compared to everybody else.
But let's think about this though, right? So let's say we walk this path, right? And we look at the numbers. So the number that we were looking at yesterday was the murder, death, kills, right? So there were like 8,000. We committed 52% of them, but it was like I think we committed 8,000, right? Some number that it would be negligible compared to 42 million Black people, right? Right. I mean, I'm not dismissing people being killed, right? We don't want that to happen,
right.
But 10,000 compared to 42 million people is a negligible number. So when we're having a conversation about how bad the culture is, we out here shooting and killing. The truth is, the overwhelming majority aren't. So how do you guys break that down?
Let me take a little bit of that, right? One of the things I think we don't put the way we've been socially engineered in the context of events that has happened over the years. But just to answer your question, let's just say for the 10,000 and 42 million, whatever, a lot of our stuff is in concentrated areas. And even though the daggone media like to focus on Black crime as opposed to crime anywhere else, if you're living in those areas, you'll feel the pressure even if the numbers are not high, because in a barrel, you only need a few bad ones to make it bad for everybody else. So we got a lot of people in the neighborhoods that live in quiet lives of quiet desperation because they don't snitch. The cops are slow to come. And, so even though the deletions might not be something that we got to go crazy over. They're still significant to the people they affect.
Understood.
That's all I'm saying.
Understood, but I hear that. That makes sense. However, she gave us an A. So when we assess the numbers based on the volume of people, does the A have more merit when you look at the actual people involved in the crimes as compared to the entire population?
There's no way we can get an A, but listen, instead of getting to that could be her experience, but it's not correct in terms of the numbers overall. And so if we ever get to a point where we could talk about how we got here, besides like music and stuff, and just let me know so I can say it. But we can't get an A, even if the things are exaggerated. We can't get an A. I'll give her the exaggeration in some areas. I'll give you that. I'll concede that. But there's no way we can get an A for at all.
Okay. Well, so even when you break everything down, you're saying there's no way we can get an A, but have you ever thought about the volume of people doing the crime compared to the number of people that are of the same culture, those people doing the crime? So is a presupposition to not give us an A? But have we actually assessed everything in terms of where we stand if it's number based?
When we say everything, okay, we've assessed enough. We have enough examples to know that if we were living in a utopian society, what we live in, from the class issue down to where the people are in the inner cities, we know it's not utopian. We know it's not an A. I mean, there's enough. We don't want to have our head in the sand, even though somebody can have anecdotal experience that looks good to them. And even if there's propaganda, which we know there is, but if you look at our marriage stats, if you believe that family is the cornerstone of the future, and we're down to 30% and going lower, that takes away an A right there. We got this quote unquote. I'm gonna end here. We got this quote unquote gender war we talk about all the time. Is that real or is that imaginary? I don't know. My daughter is a millennial. I got a millennial and a Gen Z kid. And I talk to them. They're grown now, and it's not just the YouTube streets that's saying this; they're living it. So
do you think white people give? What do you think they give themselves?
One thing white people do, sis, is this: they know how to eliminate the riffraff. They don't have, white people don't hang out with what they call white trash. They don't make them part of their culture. Well, hold on for a second, but that's not what we do. Sexy Red is the black woman's person around the world.
Why do you keep saying that?
She's a representative. I'm just using her as a metaphor. The ratchet people are the ones that they project around the world, and men too. And white people put a stop to that. They are very meticulous on what they show. I mean, they just are, because they control the media.
Making my point.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we get an A.
But you literally just made her point, though.
But that doesn't mean we get an A. I agree with her point about the propaganda, but that doesn't mean our reality.
So, Mr. Payne, you haven't shot down the reason for not an A good enough. So if I was listening to this and you guys were having a debate, I don't know how well you would be doing. You mentioned anecdotal. 10,000 people compared to 42 million people sounds like an anecdote to me.
If you're just talking about deletions, that's not the only problem we have.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about
No. That's not the only basis she gave us an A on. She gave us an A across the gamut of things. I'm saying that's one thing. Hey, but how about the abortion issue? Is a serious issue. In '73, when abortion started, we were 13% of the population. Here we are 50 years later, and we're still 13% of the population. So, and even though, and here's the answer to this, if we are leading in babies and leading in deletions, how can that be? Because there's a class divide. The poorest of us have their kids. The richest, the people who think they have a future, and they're the ones deleting them in groves. So the point is, we can answer all those things. I didn't want to turn this into like me slash and smash people. And when the Moynihan thing came out, Gen Zs were babies, but both of their parents were from the silent generation, And once they started giving welfare and stuff like that and taking the man out of the house, that propagated certain things, right?
Okay.
And it wasn't the Gen X's problem, but what the Gen Xers did, and I'm gonna end it here, when they wanted their kids to have a better life, disease, what they did was they added not only better life, they added easier life, and that was the mistake. That part of it was a mistake. Everybody wants their kids to have a better life, but when you take away the pressure, you take away the things that make you strong, they started taking bullying out of the schools and all that shit, and started giving what you call those kind of trophies, those participation trophies. You know, I mean, you know, there's a lot of compendium of stuff that doesn't give us. If we start saying to us, I don't want to be negative, Nelly, because I hear where the sisters come from. If we start saying we're going to be a completely delusion, delusion.
Okay. Okay.
I'm here to say you're delusion. I just don't agree. I just don't agree with that. You know,
No,
so we got a boomer fight going on.
I hear you. I gotta ask clarifying question. I think that's how we get clear in terms of the facts. There was one thing you mentioned about class divide that seemed contradictory with an earlier point, but I think I actually know what you're trying to say there. Because you did say we don't separate like white people do, but then the class divide is the reason for the abortions, which would assume separation. So that's a little bit. Yeah.
No, you misunderstood what I said.
No, I think I know what you meant, but if somebody was listening to it, what would they take away? That's why I said I qualified it, but I think I understand what you're saying. We don't disparage the riffraff, right? We wear shirts that say free whoever that went to jail, right? And that's why we don't separate ourselves from the lowest portion. So I know what you're saying, but just listen to what you said. Yeah, I know, I got you.
I'm thinking that the people that are wearing the t-shirts are in the same class as the people that are on the t-shirts. That's the same class.
They are.
Really?
That's good.
When 50 Cent had the free Yayo shirt on, he's in the same class at that juncture.
What you talking about? That's the hood that he's from. It don't matter because he got a rap career and he got money now. That don't mean nothing. But that's still his hood. That's the class that he grew up in.
How do you qualify class though, right? Can you move out of your class, or are you saying you're always in the class you're born in no matter what?
Hey, you can move out the hood, but the hood's still gonna be in you.
Yeah, like-minded people.
Okay, but you understand class is a different determination. You're saying if he still identifies, that's just one thing. But if he has money, he doesn't live there, he's not in that class.
But that's still like wasn't he like a childhood friend or something? I don't know all about 50 Cent's all extra history with them people and everything like that. But typically outside of, celebrities and everything like that, the people that are wearing the t-shirts are in the same class as the people that are on the t-shirts.
Okay.
Makes sense.
See, I want to go down that road that asked Abe. I ain't gonna lie. I want to dive into it some more, but I want to be fair if everybody want to answer the question in terms of what generation is most responsible for the state of the culture. You gave us a D, right?
Yeah. I think we're at a D, close to a C.
Go on.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I want to say that the boomers started the decline. And even though I know that Gen X they're taking on the L, I think the boomers started it because they didn't raise the children. And then the decline of anything starts at the root. And the root was the parenting. While they were chasing, career, they didn't raise the children. And so if you're not raised, if you just exist, then you don't know how. That's why they can say now that we weren't taught how to raise our children. So the decline always starts with the person who's responsible. The Gen X is the symptom of being left behind. So I think it starts with boomers. If you look now, millennials, and that's honestly why I think we are one of the best generations, because we watched the decline, and a lot of millennials drew the line. They're like, look, what you guys call what the generations before us, the way children were treated, you're to be seen and not heard. You're like a second class citizen. Your opinion doesn't matter. That's when millennials started to say like, no, they're people too. Like look at the results of what happened. The results aren't good. And if the results aren't good, we have to do something different. And we didn't have a blueprint for what to do different, but we were able to sit back and say like, look, the things that our parents did, they didn't work. You got, they weren't sustainable. And so you can take the good that they put in, because there was a lot of good, but if you don't pass that down, if you don't have a blueprint for how to pass on the good, it fizzles out. And so now we're at a point where not only are we having to rebuild, but we're also having to write a manual to pass down. And unfortunately, it skips a generation. So the generation that we have right now, like we look at Z and we're like, it won't be them. It'll probably be the end of Alpha when we finally start to see a generation. And that's if we can get out from being stuck where we are right now.
So you're saying the demise started with the boomers? It sounds like you're saying the boomers are selfish.
I think they bought into, I don't think it was intentional. I think they bought into the American dream. If we go out and we work hard and we make enough money, we'll be able to give our children everything that they need. But what the children needed was them. And so while they chased money, no one raised them. And if you're not raised, you don't know. If you continue to go to school, no child left behind, they'll pass you, but you didn't learn anything. That's the equivalent of what Gen X ended up being. They were the no child left behind. We just push you on through so we don't have to continue to teach you. And that doesn't, it's like an artificial intelligence. Like you grew up, but you didn't mature.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that what No Child Left Behind was for? Excuse me. I thought No Child Left Behind was mainly to say we're going to bring in help to teach so that no child is left behind in their education, not just passing people.
That's
so we don't leave them behind.
I think you're right. I think that's initially what it started out. It started out that way. I think that was the intent of it. But then when you see the disparity at some point, you have to say there's no catching up. And so then it changed into something different. And in that same way, I think boomers, they didn't intentionally say we're not going to raise our children, but they thought they were doing something good by going after the careers and making that the priority. But then that ended up, turning into something different as well. So I think the intention started off good, but the result, when you take your focus off of the cause, you have a mission shift. You look, it only takes a little bit of deviating, and then you look all the way to the end, and all of a sudden you're on the other side of the world.
Okay, so you saying they had good intentions? I don't know. When you said that, for some reason, it's not resonating with me. But let me see, Lauren Mack, what you think?
I think, I blame boomers. So I blame boomers for everything. My parents are boomers, and they just will not tell me anything, and then they speak in parables like we know what that means. Like, so do I gotta find this in a book somewhere? Like, Jesus,
that's so funny.
So when I say selfish, does that resonate with you?
Like when I was buying my first house, and I was trying to talk to my mom about different loans and stuff, and she was like, "Well, I think you need to speak with someone about that." But you bought a house. What did you do? Like, just tell me what you did. No.
Yeah. And are they the generation in terms of like we can't ask questions? Is that the generation?
It's almost like boomers want you to do what they did. Like they had to figure it out on their own, so they want you to do the same thing. Even though times have changed and technology changed, they might know a little bit because they've already been working in the industry, but they don't want to tell you nothing.
I think we just have different tools that they didn't have. Like I'm gonna just say that like I got the baby boomers back. Like my grandma is like baby boomers, but like yeah, grandma. So like just seeing how my grandma and how my granddad are, like I see that they worked really hard for what they had. But it's on top of them having a job, my grandparents had a whole side business and stuff together. Could I ever see my mother doing something like that with my father? No. There's no type of work ethic. There's no type of drive. There's no type of, I'm going to go out and get it myself. So I just think that they didn't have the same type of tools and resources that we do now. Because, like, I can go talk to my granddad about, like, hey, granddad, like, how'd you start saving money to buy a house? Or what loans did you apply for? My mom, go figure it out. Maybe you should go talk to somebody. Lady, you've been in 4 houses. You have no clue, no idea, or like even with the men thing, you're married. You can't tell me how I'm supposed to go about it. The best thing, like for men advice, the best thing my mom can tell me, don't give it up for a Happy Meal. Well, lady, he bought me Chick-fil-A. That's the best advice.
That's not a generational thing. That's not a generational thing in the way that you think, right? Because if you
see, give me a second. I'm gonna rotate Jerice in. All right, Love C.
If you were to talk to, my bad. If Mac Boogie, if she was to talk to her grandparents, she may get a different response. She may get the answers that she's seeking. The grandparents tend to give the grandbabies. My relationship with my grandma. Listen, I'll be 50 in August, right? When I talk to my uncle, you know, I'm at the age now, and they at the age now. They just tell you everything. They don't care. So all his gripes and grievances with his mama, you know, I'm like, dang, I didn't know grandma did, right? But to me, that's still grandma. And grandma give me the game. If I sit her down and talk to her long enough and give her a donut and some coffee, she gonna give me the game, right? But for my mom and them, no, you got to get out here and get it on your own. You got to learn. You got to eat it out the mud. And that's the problem in our community, is that every generation got to start from zero and learn on their own. So it's not generational in the way that you think, Yana. It's generational, but not in the way that you think.
Like I know my mom, when she was trying to talk to me about sex, it was pretty much just when you feel like you're ready to have sex, just come and let me know. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call you while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't tell us nothing.
Yeah, I remember one time when I had just graduated college, my dad was like, yo, man, my foot hurt. I'm like, yeah. He's like, can you help me? I'm like, no. He's like, didn't you just graduate college? I'm like, yeah, I have a business degree, my G. I'm not a podiatrist. And then he called my cousin. He's like, ain't you a doctor? She's like, yeah, I'm a neurologist.
He ain't know what that was.
You just like, yo, come on, man.
He said, can you look at my pinky toe? Help, get over here, look at my pinky toe.
You gotta
all that money to put you through college.
Get him out of here.
Like, damn, man. So, all right. I ain't gonna go back down the Ask A road. Did y'all give me Jerice, what did you say? What generation is the cause of the demise?
Yeah, I said it before my phone froze up. Gen X.
I mean X, right?
Yeah, X.
Jim, what did you say?
I said X.
X. Callie, what'd you say? You didn't say.
Which one? What now?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
I gave my answer. Didn't I give my answer earlier?
About you remember your answer? Just say it again.
What I said that the best one was X. The headliner was X.
Yeah, you ain't.
Callie, you doing exactly what Lauren said we do in our generation.
Dog, Callie. It's too early for amnesia and Alzheimer's.
My recent Lord. Yo, what generation is responsible for the demise of the community?
Every generation is responsible for themselves.
Callie, are you there?
I'm here. You know, I'm being bad. I'm being bad. That's what it is. I'm gonna full screen and I'm gonna get out the chat. But no,
chat, man.
we are the start of this shit going down the toilet. I will agree. Overall, yes, it's X.
The chat is not your friend. Stay out the chat.
Can I answer that
I know
one?
better too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Can I answer that one? I think a lot of it that nobody wants to talk about is the silent generation had a lot to do with the decline. Because when you look at the Gen Xers, there's a great deal of Gen Xers that's born to the silent generation, especially if you look at the time the Gen Xers start, right? Because the baby boomers were young, man. I mean, a lot of them were like 20 or something, 21 when the Gen Xers started. So they didn't have the bulk of the kids. They might have later on or early on. But so I'm just saying there's a lot of blame to go around, and the blame game is not getting us anywhere. But I would say that the latchkey kids and what we learned about the buying houses, being married, working 2 jobs. Listen, the fact that you were eating was the fact that your parents had to go work. I mean, so there was a trade-off. I think there was a trade-off. Now, the thing is, you guys are still here. You guys gave birth to the Gen Zers, and the Gen Zers,
breathing, huh?
You made it.
My man Jim said that they're trying to redefine
real
how we work.
fences right now.
It's
It's like the movie 300. Just throw us out there to the lions.
So here's my last thing.
Good.
Hold
Let
that
me
L,
just do my
Dr.
last
Kane.
thing. Like I said, I'm a millennial, and I have a Gen Zer, and I taught them everything. That's why I taught them everything, how to invest, all that stuff.
Yeah, but you're like, what do you call them here? You're an outlier. You're an outlier.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I
are.
am not a unicorn. I had a whole bunch
You
of.
are.
I'm in the frat, right? There was a whole bunch of Gen baby boomers with me, and their kids are all successful. A lot of them are successful. There's some bums. But they had a lot of successful people. So
But
I'm not a genius.
Mr. Payne, we got the smallest number, the least amount of numbers out of every other. So even using that's a small ass number.
But it's more than just one.
Wait, so hold on. This nigga's an outlier of an outlier? What the? Okay.
1% of a 1%.
Man. Listen, okay, we all have a blame. We all have some blame.
Then hit that typical boomer move where they be like, hey. Y'all still alive though, right?
Y'all niggas made it though, right?
On your backs.
Jesus Christ.
You got broken brains, you got all that, but you good. You good. You made it through.
You guys made it through. We're proud of you.
Bro, you heard my answer earlier, right? I was saying how we survived. That's how the boomers taught us. You survived. You survived.
That's go out there and be somebody.
Right. Like my military father used to say, she know I love her. I ain't gotta tell her every day.
Nah, that's where that but did you die shit come from.
Exactly.
That's where that meme come from.
You got that shit in you though.
Did you die though? Did you die though?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, brother. You should at practice, I'd be surprised half of them made it up the hill at the end.
I will say though, it was some perks to that mentality. I do think in the grand scheme of things, it was more harmful than good when we look at the entirety of just the mindset and how like the day-to-day went. But you were strong going out into the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like you definitely did. You didn't have the identity crisis that we're having now. You had tougher skin. You were able to adapt at a quicker rate, which I do give them a lot of credit for that. It was just, I think some of the emotional intelligence was what was lacking. You know what I'm saying? As far as understanding goes there. But I mean, it's perks and, it's flaws to any ideology or whatever it is. But I do.
Yeah.
Just remember this. 60% of the time, it works every time.
I'm saying that independence is a mug because I was in elementary school. Me and my older brother were taking public transportation to school. We wasn't riding no school bus. We was on the Torrance Transit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Dart.
Had a key and then had a key to the house once you.
Oh yeah, don't lose that key.
The babysitter was, don't open that damn door for nobody.
You gonna let outside in. Everybody got the key now.
Right.
Everybody got the key. That key.
It's some hot dogs in the refrigerator. Don't turn on that stove.
If I lost that key, I would get a whooping.
For everybody.
And that money to replace the locks would have to come out of my allowance. That's what happened
Because
when
if
I
you
lost the
lose the
key.
key, then everybody in the neighborhood got
Everybody can get in now.
Everybody in the neighborhood.
All right.
Y'all ain't gonna have nothing in the house later.
Fuck that key. Like, share,
Keys on the
subscribe,
bus.
tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. PTSD talking about them keys, nigga. Joe with the $5 says the boomers and X's were messing up. Did I read this one already? Yeah. Arion with the $2 says he read that. I read that one. Oh, Arion with the $2 says y'all notice the gens are resetting. Y'all get ready. Tatum with the $2 says get ready for the military draft. Damn. John with the John with the $5 says I use Kaza, Big Bear, Winamp. These were all around after the millennium came through. Hamp, stop arguing. Okay, you definitely you good at Googling. I tell you that. The dating pool with the $5 says Gen X, when both parents went hard for work and left the kids at home to run rampant, is when our people went into hell in a handbasket. Joe with the $5 says boomers and X's messed up when they start putting stuff in their kids' names. Got Pepco pulling up to the kids during recess. Zagu with the Zagu with the $5 says Gen X born late 60s, so the hippie free expression drug movement were boomers. That ruined our culture, sexual freedom, and drugs. Boomers hold the L. Ariane with the $5 says, let's not act like baby boomers didn't start gang culture off the back of silent gen protesting groups. Tukey was born in 53. I got facts, Hamp. B's and C's, GDs. Dayton Pool with the $2 says, Gen X left our kids alone to raise themselves. Big Bad Bull with the $5 says, if a generation hasn't fully died off yet, then what determines what generation is currently in charge and accountable? Who's leading and influencing? MC Heavy Tits with the $2. Okay, this lady is crazy. Yo with the $2 says, this lady lives in a fairy tale. What season is it? J.O.B. with the $10 says, Gen X was the experiment. The CIA infiltrated with the hood with crack cocaine. AIDS was exploding. The stock market crash of 89 and the crime bill. They reaped whirlwind when they sowed the wind. Damn. Ashton with the $5 says, where y'all find a lady who discovered the Temptations, Hamp? And it's niggas in Connecticut? Yeah. The Dayton Pool with the $5 says, Gen X is when they started to flex and felt real freedom to do what they want. Have AB, what's that? I don't know what that is.
You know what that is.
Deletion.
The deletion.
Sexual freedom, orgies, etc. Hence our downfall came. The dating pool with the $2 says, Gen X was when we went way off course as people. Big Bad Bull with the $10 says, abortion stats are real. I have had a few women get a couple abortions. The youngins say nowadays it's a pickup line if a dude lets a girl know he has a Plan B pills on deck.
No cap.
Ashton with the $5 says, our pain think it's okay for women to code switch, but men shouldn't. Grill his ass, Hamp. John with the $10 says, being responsible for just quote unquote ourselves is why, as Black people community as a whole, are behind other races when it comes to cultural unity. Basically, we don't show unity like others. Pound, get it fixed. MC Heavy Tits with the $5 says, does that go for police deleting unarmed Black people as well, since it's less than 1%? Ashton with the $5 says, Harriet Tubman woke the slaves up to use her Underground Railroad arcane, woke up and said, I'm finna tell it. Nah. Yo, School was good with the $5 says, if you're taking a test with 42 million questions and you got 99.97 correct, that's not an A? Yeah, that would be an A. The dating pool with the $5 says, no gen after boomers has held uphold morality like the boomers. Gen X had everything but abused that abundancy. All gens after that have slid into degeneracy. Shout out to John Henry with the 20 bosses. Big Bad Bull. The baby boomers are still in control politically due to lack of term limits, quote unquote. Therefore, Gen X is actively being used to influence the coming generations. Gen Y will be the next generation to take control. But Ashton with this house, goddamn, Rilla, fart or something. Matt B with the house, hold it down, Hamp. Keep pushing. Appreciate you, Matt. Get some sleep, bro. Big Bad Boy with the $5 says, some of y'all are just flat out hard-headed and can't nobody tell you nothing. If you failed, you failed. If you succeed, you succeed. Stop with the blame deflecting. Hank with the $2 says, what's good, Hampton Panels? Hank was popping. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. All right. So how about men and women? How about men and women of the generations?
Women.
Women what?
Women or women. I'm sorry. Was the question who's failing the generation? Women.
Yeah, well, let's go with it. Go
ahead. We're taking a L, ladies, for sure. And
yeah.
It's my generation.
Damn. So you saying y'all got the worst women?
We got the worst women. Like we are. I don't know who's in charge, but I don't know at what point it was like, F all the niggas. We could do it ourselves. Lady, you can't put no tire on by yourself. Come on now. Like,
you just put a tire on by yourself.
It don't make sense. I'm a whole mechanic, and I am sure, I'm proud to say, I don't need a man, but damn, it would feel really good not to have to change my own tire on the side of the highway, boy.
Shit like that.
Hey, at least you honest about it.
I'm serious. It don't make sense.
Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all,
having
real
sex
quick.
is fun now.
Real quick, y'all. So Savage want to come up. He said he want to dunk on the baby boomers and push back at the baby boomers.
Shout out to the homie.
I might.
Bloodshed. I'm gonna head out.
You can switch me out. I
might
want to smoke a cigarette real quick.
I'm out here.
I didn't even drop the link.
I gotta take a break anyway. I'll be back.
The hell are y'all talking? All I did was read it. Ain't no breaks. What the fuck?
I thought
I gotta do, man. Listen,
they said the white man coming here. They gotta go.
I gotta use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. B. Mr. B.
Wow.
These old motherfuckers trying to wrap it up, Mr. B. You spoke too soon, man.
Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, wrap it up, B.
Man, that's crazy.
Good night, guys. This generation.
Good night, bro. Good night.
Nairo.
Good
Beat it, man. Make like a train split. All right. So you saying y'all got the worst women. Did any other generation feed that?
I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the Gen X. Gen X fed it because I feel like from my personal experience, I'll say that I'm failing as a woman because I don't know how to let a man approach me. And I don't know how to let a man approach me because my mom never really taught me. I was just always told, don't give it up for a happy
to blame.
Damn.
So, I mean, yes, I could go and ask my sister, but she ain't doing no better. And go asking a peer. I mean, all the females around my age, everybody listens to Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion. I can't name 3 songs from either one of them. I just know that the coochie is pink and the booty hole's brown. What does that mean?
It means exactly what she said.
Shout out to you, Yana, for being the hay and the needle stack.
Or nothing. No metaphors, no critical thinking. That is what it is.
Like, I don't get it. It's like we're just promoting sex now. And it's like, it's cool, it's fine, but like, I don't understand. I don't think I'm ever going to get married. That's just nip that in the butt. I don't think I'm getting married.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
I'll go ahead and
dudes don't
take responsibility for Doodoo Brown.
Dudes are really, nowadays, if you just meet a guy, it'd be like, you want chill? What the hell is chilling, yo? Or you want smoke? No. What about a date? What about we can go to the park? Want to take a walk? You know, something like that. But they don't do that no more. Everybody just wants to smoke and chill. I don't want to Netflix and chill, sir.
Well, what do you want to do?
My ideal first date, like my last boyfriend, our first date, we went skating, and then we went on a 2-hour walk and talked. And I was with that man for a year. Now I'm not, but that's a different story.
What the fuck y'all walked through for 2 hours?
We walked the park. It was this random park. It was near my house, but we just walked it. It was a trail. I was like, I've never gone this far, but we could just keep going. And we
Who got tired of all that walking? and left the relationship? You or him?
I didn't hear what you said.
Who got tired of that relationship? Walking, talking, all that.
I don't
Who
think
left the
either one of us.
relationship? Do you remember?
I think that both of us lacked emotional maturity, and I think that we both. I don't think we knew ourselves enough because it was. I feel like we both changed ourselves for each other, and then it was for him mostly. It was him trying to please his parents by simple things that they wanted him to do and stuff like that. It's like, oh well, I wouldn't have done that like that for your mom, but I mean, you could do that for her, I guess, if that makes sense.
Who left?
Thank you.
Who left?
Who's us?
Who left?
Oh. Who left? He left.
Yes.
Because he left.
Okay.
But like the day everything happened, like he left because the tension was too high. Okay. Mommy and daddy told him to stay home.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Out of our apartment that we had together. But
oh boy.
Damn. Now I will say that we did influence y'all when it came to the because we had Luke and we was doing our thing. But as far as like going out and like dating and how to have a conversation with people and all that kind of stuff like that, I can't claim that.
Fail.
So this is the thing about our generation though, Callie. We got so many conflicting messages that we were bombarded with. When you go to school, you get the message about, hey, you got to get into college, you got to whoop-de-whoop, blah, 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 blah. Generation X was the first generation that got messages from their mother. I know women got messages from their mother to be independent, be strong. You don't need a man, right? Be able to fend for yourself, hold your own. So that trickles down. I believe everything rises and falls on leadership. So the buck stops with us, with our generation. But those messages for the first time, because the women of a previous generation, they wanted to experience freedoms that they thought other ethnic groups were getting, was starting to say, hey, you don't need a man. I could do bad all by myself. Where was all that coming from? That didn't start with Generation X.
Yeah. So my question when Yana jumped in, which was cool because we got some insight from her and we appreciate her transparency. The relationships are destroyed seemingly based on marriage rates and etc. What generation was it, and in what sex was it after that? You guys understand the question?
Yeah.
I would say I can't remember when it wasn't destroyed. It seems like it's the same. It doesn't seem like it's gotten worse. I don't know why people think the silent generation and before that were doing well with relationships and marriages. That's not true. That's just something people say. They create that narrative and everybody runs with it. It's really not true.
Okay. So well, see, it's difficult if you don't believe stats. Then you would also throw out the 73% of us being married in the the 70s, 60s, mid 60s, early 60s, 70s. Ask Abe.
Oh, would I throw it out?
Yeah.
Well, I can look at all the people who I know who are that age, and their relationships were torn apart, and they were cheating, sleeping with their other sister's man, and different things like that. So I don't see where it was good.
Okay, so you're saying
they didn't write down marriages, did they necessarily?
Who?
And then when they got a divorce, they didn't necessarily get a divorce. They just continued on and married someone else. Like my grandmother, she never divorced her first husband, but she was married to the next one for 50 years. And then she had to collect Social Security from the first husband because, come to find out, she was still married to him. Okay. And I find that is not anecdotal.
Okay, so you're saying it was a mess, but they just stayed married.
Yeah.
Okay, so the numbers are as such, but if you dove deeper, it was just as messed up as it is today, except for we don't make the mistake of getting married or staying married.
We're getting married. We're still getting married.
What you mean?
Only in this algorithm, however you say it, are people saying we're not marrying. But if you create another algorithm, because don't forget, it's your algorithm, it's your appetite that you're watching. If you go look at someone else's algorithm, you'll find that people are still getting married.
But they actually track. Marriage is a official document. So if it says 33% of us are married, in terms of the men, you're saying that's not a real number?
Since you say they track it now,
Well, it's a marriage. You have to go to the courthouse and get a certificate, license, etc.
yes, I have one.
So it's official.
How about when people get separated? Because I know someone they still say they married, but they haven't been together in 30 years.
All right. So you're saying that. So you're saying that the number is even lower. So they're saying
Yeah.
they're married, but you just said we were married. But you're saying not only are we. What are you saying? So are we married or are
City
we not?
Hall has them as married. However, they don't live together and they have not for 30 years.
I know, but you said we're getting married still.
Oh, yeah.
But,
You don't believe that?
But then you just made an argument for where we're separated more. So really, if they did the real numbers, less people are married.
The same. I'm telling you, there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same. People were doing the same dirt, same cheating. Ever since I can remember, back in the Bible days too. But I'll bring it up a little. Let's go to the silent generation. They did the same thing.
Yeah, except for people aren't married half as much. Like they're not married though.
Oh, they're not getting married?
No,
Okay.
but you know
Okay.
that 'cause I said that already.
Well, thank you for that information.
Are you?
I didn't
Are
know
you?
people weren't getting married. Everybody I
As,
know is married. All
as
my
a let me ask you a serious question. Are you trolling me?
No, because all my peers are married.
All your parents? How many parents you got?
She said
Peers.
peers.
Oh, all right, all right. I'm about to say,
Thank
now
you,
I know you
Denise.
trolling now. Good gracious. Hey, Lauren, man, get on camera, man. Y'all about to get fired, man. I'm telling you. Jim,
Talk to me.
she trolling me, man. Say something. Say some smart shit.
Man, goddamn. I was just trying to track. Auntie, you was confusing me. You was confusing the hell out of me. So, I'm not gonna try to play like I didn't understand some of the points you was saying. Damn, you feel me? But yeah, Auntie, it's like, I do feel like it's your demographic to an extent, but I can definitely tell you, especially through the generations, like the marriage rate is lower. And some of it's due to the economy, you know what I'm saying, due to the cost of living and how people are just viewing like marriage nowadays from a we was talking about this earlier, and some people are looking at marriage as a business partnership instead of a marriage. You feel me? So, I think that's due to some of the rates being lower, but it's definitely lower. Like people my age, I'm a Gen Z, so I'm 23. People my age, we not married. I probably know 3 or 4 people that's married out of all of my peers. Since you talked about like your peers being married, everybody being married, well, my peers aren't married and y'all was getting married at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that luxury isn't being provided because this shit is hard enough on one person by themselves. So if we talking about traditional men and women, I'm supposed to take care of you on top of taking care of me and providing for the both of us. Shit, I was hard enough by myself. You feel me? So I feel like all of that is playing somewhat of a role into the rates being lower. but they're definitely lower than they used to be, and it's been a steady decline through the generations.
Callie, you
I
want to
want to.
respond to that?
Yeah, I want to say that y'all were sold a hoop dream, thinking that y'all were going to be able to take care of a wife and a family like that. Because I've never seen that. My grandmother didn't do it. My mother didn't do it. We ain't doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Me. I seriously doubt my kids are gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Is I think y'all was sold a hoop dream. I've never heard that. Well, I won't say I've never heard. I've never seen with my own two eyes a stay at home wife and or mother on a mass scale in my lifetime.
Hmm. But it's
Yeah,
just crazy because
26%.
yeah, because
26%.
throughout time that's been like the standard. So you know what I'm saying? That's been like what we're taught. Like I've heard that growing up. Like you go out in the world, you make enough money. Like that's the goal. That's literally the goal. So I mean, it just blows my mind that that can get passed down through the generations without the generations doing it themselves. Like that's a crazy
Jim,
standard.
that's always been
That part.
aspirational, right? Women have worked beside their man. Women
Right.
have worked. It's always been dual income. The aspiration has been, man take care of the entire household on one salary, right? That's reserved for a select few.
Yeah.
Most men don't hit their earning potential, their full stride until they hit like their 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s. You there?
Okay.
Nowadays, y'all ready to retire at
And
30.
that's why I think that it's Gen Z, or yeah, Gen Z, who's got the message misconstrued as to the man's just supposed to pay all the bills, take care of me, and all that good
Oh, I
stuff.
see what you're
Because
saying.
That was propaganda. That was
Yeah.
feminism, sis. Feminism took advantage of that and took that trope and made it into something that women started to
I was
aspire
agreeing.
to. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, I was just making sure.
I'm just saying I agree with you, but
Okay.
it's not rooted in the generation. It's rooted in the program. That's
I
what
think
it's
it's
rooted.
more prominent now in this generation.
Yeah, because people
I feel
bought
like
into it and
that
passed
that's
it down.
across the board. Any girl around my age is getting in a relationship. My nigga is supposed to pay for my bills, pay for my nails, pay for the whole nine.
That's a
So,
couple of
Arcane, are
generations
you
here.
saying that feminism did a 180?
No, listen, I'm saying that this trope that women didn't have to work to support their families is something that was perverted by saying men supposed to take care of everybody, and the women, if they work, their money didn't have to go to the household. That trope has gone down a couple of generations and got worse. So
Well, I
where it's
think
at
that
right
shit started
now,
back in Gen X though, because like
it's
my
it's
mom,
it's
my mom's like that. My grandma,
no,
she
what I'm
had the
saying
business.
is they took that narrative and started to propagate it down through the generations. And now that it's at Z, it's absolutely completely perverted. Because when women think that they're gonna just chill out and the man's gonna die and pay all the bills, there's a lot of women, and some of them are actually otherwise rational, think that's the way they're supposed to live, and that's crazy. It's been crazy for years.
Okay.
So I agree with Callie Bev. I agree with you. But I'm trying to say it's not a generational blame. It's programming. I believe in social engineering, right? Feminism is a social
Who
engineering
felt
construct.
so? But here's where the generation would matter because who bought into the program and then passed it down? Would that be a thing?
I hate to say it. I think it's the exit bought it first, but they understood better, and it just kept getting worse. The millennials took up on it, some of them, and then by now with the Gen Zs, a lot of Gen Zs, that's all they believe.
Okay, I understand
You
that.
know,
When
So
what about this?
Gen X, I would say started because I don't think the baby boomers ever believed that.
Okay,
I don't
what
think the
about
baby boomers ever believed
do
that.
you think the men are overall weaker today than before?
Yes, absolutely.
So then, do you when they call you guys simps? Do you think that's true?
I mean, people are always fooling around with that stupid definition. I think it's,
Mhm.
based on men willing to acquiesce to the desires of women without standing on their own purpose and their own standards. They call that simping. And there's been simp throughout history. except that when men used to what quote unquote used to be men, you know, they used to have more control over their households, and it wasn't just about the money; it was just the natural order of things. So the natural order of things has been broken because women and feminism think they're equal to men, and they didn't want to stop there. They want to be superior to men. That's why they come out with those stats. We're the most educated, we're this, and we're all that kind of shit. I don't need a man. I just want him to dip me down once in a while. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, so I don't know how we break that coding, except for men starting to stand up and say, well, you know what? I'll go without until I find the right woman to be on my program, and start arguing with women to be different than who they already are. So some people are never going to, everybody's not going to come with the new generation. A lot of people are going to get left behind. And that's another reason why we ain't getting no A. There's F's to go around. You know, men and women. You know, there should be no such thing as a gender war.
Mr. Payne, did you answer my question? All right, were you guys simps?
Not me. But are there simps out there? Yes. I said yes. When you first asked, I said yes.
Your generation, though. I understand not you. But your generation, were you guys simps? Were you guys a happy wife, happy life guys?
Yes.
Yes. There was too many of there was some of those. There was a lot of
those.
There was a lot of happy wife, you know, give their money to the wife and she did all that. I can't lie, there was a lot of men that did that.
But if the young boys ain't going for that, what makes them weaker?
Well, you know, the young boys well, let me tell you, I don't know if they're not going for that. So let them tell me.
What we look like working all damn week, coming home, giving her a check, and letting her decide what we're gonna do. It don't even sound like it.
But back in the day, that was the thing to do. To come
That
home
was
and
the
get
norm
money
back
home
in the
to
day.
the
though.
Payne, these young bloods are savages, man.
And
they don't
Jerice,
care.
that was the norm back in the day because they were simps. That's why it
Exactly.
was the norm.
Yeah, of course, Jim. Of course. We on the same page, Jim. We on the same page.
Hold on. Don't
Or did
overrun it.
women have-
Hold on, Yana. Don't overrun it, because if you overrun it, then Mr. Payne gonna lean back in the chair like we can't see him. So Mr. Payne,
I'm playing it up. Go ahead.
he gonna turn down the lights and all that. So if y'all was if they was simps, right? And there's always outliers. We agree to that. But the young boy said, hell nah. What makes them softer?
Men in general, right, I believe are softer. Not, you know, the ones who are not getting married and not willing to acquiesce to what the women's desires, like, I'm gonna work myself to death and I'm gonna try to take care of you by spending all the money. There's a whole lot of men who ain't like that. Just like the guys who come on these panels and pander to women. Your Derek Jacksons and those kind of guys. You know, so there's a lot of men like that. And then there's the Rough Riders gonna say, you know what? I'm not doing that. But there's still a lot of men today, man. You know, that's why women have gotten as far as they got, right? With the laws and everything else.
Well, but you got to remember the point that I think Roe made it. The boomers are the ones still in office passing the laws.
Yeah, but you know what? Women vote most of those laws in. You got to forget they're a bigger electoral thing than we are. And a lot of men follow their women to the polls just so they don't have to argue. So the fact, there's a whole movement that's saying maybe women shouldn't have the right to vote, but that's another story. But women vote their feelings, and they have big power. So they're never going to vote to change the divorce laws. How do you think the no-fault divorce came in? That was woman power. That wasn't men voting for that. They just acquiesced to it so they didn't have to hear their wives' mouths.
Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Did boomer men vote?
But that's what we want to change.
Go
ahead, Bill. Maybe if you got a different opinion.
I was asking you, did boomer men vote en masse?
I think boomer men, just like almost all black men, our biggest mistake was voting in mass for the Democratic Party.
Mr. Payne. He didn't ask you that. He asked you about the boomers. Stop including everybody with y'all.
Yes,
he asked you about the boomers.
The boomers voted for liberalism.
Boomer men, no, Dr. Payne. the boomer men vote in mass, or did the women vote?
I think boomer men voted in mass just like everybody else. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I
and
don't know.
Mine's gonna be
I know.
anecdotal.
When,
I don't remember my granddad stepping foot in a voter booth.
well,
in his life.
so all I can say is when I turned 18, I voted.
Mm.
You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, when I turned 18, I voted. You know, so I don't know. I can only go by me. My father voted. My brothers voted. You know, so I don't know. I didn't look at everybody else, but I thought men voted because I did. Like I said, I don't think I'm a unicorn.
I don't know the stats on that one. Y'all more educated.
I don't have the stats on that, but I know today men vote. Black men, boomers, Xers, millennials, and Zs mostly vote Democrat. Black ones. And the Democrats have been playing us for pansies for years. Let's not go down there. And all of these laws that we have, including the love of the LBGYNs, whatever the hell they call themselves, is because of the way we vote. And that's mostly woman driven, by the way, black woman driven.
Well, you ain't finna let them heifers get away with nothing, huh, Dr. Payne?
No. I wish I was a doctor.
It's all the women's.
Let me ask this.
I didn't say that. You know, I didn't mean that. No.
Let me ask
this
question.
question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask this question. Did that dog just lick your face?
No.
Was the boyfriend you mentioned, was he white?
No, he was black. What you trying to say, man?
You let the dog lick your face, so I just like maybe you picked up some habits.
We had 3 dogs in our house. He was okay with.
Okay, all right.
Shit like that.
Lauren, what about the question that Ariane posed? If we all had to start over from scratch, what generation would succeed the most?
I mean, since the boomers were the closest to caveman days, I would say them.
Jesus Christ. So because they
they can go back to the simplest form.
They can build a deck
with one nail.
Shout out to you, Arpane. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Sharice, what do you think if we had to start it all over?
Nah, definitely boomer. Lauren said what I was gonna say, but she got it.
Damn. Does anybody else disagree?
Wait, ask that again so I can make sure I understand the question. If we was to do a complete reset.
Yeah, what generation would be most successful?
A reset on their year, like on the
we all started from the same line.
Slate, and you back to just natural nature. Oh, if we're going just nature, then boomers, yeah. Boomers.
Gen Z.
They hunt, they fish. You know what I'm saying? They're skilled artisans, all that stuff. You know.
They cross the Appalachian Mountains to get.
Right. Yeah, they're still tradesmen. So.
Yeah. You
That's
guys agree?
Where I was gonna. Yeah, that's kind of where I was gonna go when you had asked the question. How are Gen Z men weaker? And I was just gonna say only in the practical skills.
Yeah.
What if we flop generations? Which generation you think would be successful? So let's say Jim and Yana took a time machine back into the 80s.
Jim wouldn't survive, but I would.
That we have, or would it just be
with everything you have?
I mean, we would have an advantage. We would have an advantage based off of prior knowledge and life experience. I feel like we would do things differently in a more effective way.
So you just by nature of knowing you would be better off.
Yeah, just simply off of that. You know, I'm not saying like not including the general work ethic of like the community, just based off of knowing.
I don't know if y'all can make it with like AOL and Yeah, I don't know.
But like we're not men, like we're like kind of on the borderline. Cause like me, I feel like me and Jim grew up in a time where we still kind of played out. I still played outside. No, we still played outside. We didn't really grow up with phones until I didn't get a phone until I was in high school. So yeah, like
Yeah, but
I
most of
feel
your
like
generation came up in the internet. Y'all had internet. Y'all had phones. You
we
know what I'm saying?
did at a
Not
certain point in
you,
time.
but most of the children, most of the kids in your generation came up with advanced technology. So if y'all was transplanted back to the 80s, y'all would be trying to figure with everything that you have, you would be trying to figure out ways to recreate that.
And
To
so with that,
recreate that luxury for yourselves, not
Yeah.
I
survive where
don't.
you actually are.
Me
so
personally,
with
I don't
that
think that
not,
I would per se. But yeah,
no, but I want to touch on that. So would that not help advance us from where we're? You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. With the knowledge that we have, would things not evolve at a faster rate?
Yeah, that
They
part I
would.
don't know, man. I'm trying to think.
It would.
I'm thinking about the
Like,
Terminator, and I'm thinking about
It,
Back to the Future, Doctor
I don't
Payne.
know if a woman like me
it would
would
be
survive
better.
in that time. I'm too vocal, and like I don't, I don't need a
And I
man.
keep thinking about Captain Marvel. I don't know how it would work.
So I don't know how well I
we
would
have too
do.
much convenience. The newer generations have too much convenience to be able to go back. I think a lot of what we see as intelligence is we've got a luxury lifestyle. Everything's easy, so it
So,
might be
so
harder
see,
for us to rebuild again.
I understand that point. So, see, if you shipped our pain and Ask Ave to the future, you think they'll be better off than us going back in the past?
No,
Yeah, rejected.
I think we still do better going to the past than them coming to the future.
How come?
'Cause it's harder for them to adapt. Like it's harder for them to come out of their mold. I think us going to the back, if we go back with everything that we know now, um, I think that we'd be able to work something out. It probably wouldn't be, we probably fumble along the way, but we have the adaptability. I think will help us because we know
But I
how
thought,
to, we can adapt better.
I thought that we conceded that the boomers worked hard. So wouldn't that work ethic help them figure it out, especially with all this technology?
They work
Like,
hard, but we work smart.
but back then you would, if we got shit back, you would have to work hard because there is no smartphone. Like you just said, the technology gives us the convenience to have the encyclopedia at our fingertips. They were accustomed to going to a library and finding the information and citing sources and putting them in the paper and then typing it. And if you fuck it up, you got to start over the whole piece of paper.
Yeah, but that I think that might,
Damn.
if you've ever, I don't know. I think it's a different trade off. If you ever watch them like try to I think the ability to adapt wherever you go. If you know how to adapt to a situation, it won't matter where you go, you'll be able to pick up and fit in. But if you're like stuck in one space, it won't matter how much access you have, how much hard work. You ever worked with somebody who, they're a hard worker, but they don't
Fuck up.
accomplish because they're too busy doing it their way, even if you can work hard doing something wrong and it yield no results. So I
Okay,
think
so
that
what happened to us though? But Tom, let's dig into it though. So what would happen to us if we got shit back without all the conveniences that you mentioned?
but we
Would
had
we
still
adapt?
so
But
yeah, we're
question C,
divided.
will we
So we're
adapt to
divided,
working
right?
hard? Who, the
I think,
millennials?
yeah, because I think we got enough of a split. Like if you talk to us, you'll have some people that are like, I don't know, like he don't know how to change a tire, and then you'll have the same people in the same generation that'll be like, what? You don't know how to change a tire? It's enough of us that know enough to be able to, I think, to compromise for the hard working part of it. If you got an older millennial, like an older millennial that's on the verge of Gen X, they know, they've seen a little bit more as far as like mechanic working with your hands, doing certain things, going outside. We still have enough of that to be able to, to have some hard skills and to be able to adapt. I think that we have a span that's wide enough to be
Hmm.
able to be able to make it. We kind,
Okay.
you earthy, you might know how to farm, you might know how to rebuild a few things. You got a couple of people who didn't want to go to college, they tradesmen.
But I think going the opposite route is a little bit harder. We
Okay.
got the mental fortitude. That's what I think.
Okay. Okay. I think I understand that. Anybody disagree?
Well, the baby boomers, well, baby boomers ushered in all of those things that Payne began talking about at the beginning of our conversation. Like, um, we started with we got away from the floppy disk and we ushered in the better computers, and we've been here for it all. So we're not afraid of it, and we are very adaptable. That's the good thing. Now, you might talk about the silent generation, but we don't have any problem with computers because we've seen it from the ground up.
So ask Ave, you guys are still outliers, and that's the crazy part about it. Like Major Payne, you too. There's a lot of people, you feel me, that are and I'm just saying that aren't as advanced. I'm not saying that they don't know how to work computers. Like you said, they've been around, but they might have a hard time accessing a web, or you might be spending 10 to 15 minutes just trying to get them to cut their camera on the screen. They might have the voice, or they're talking. He been talking for 5 minutes, and we unmute yourself, like it's like, you know what? Just call me on the voice phone, because that's what they're so used to.
The voice phone?
The voice phone. You see how I'm holding the
Call
phone?
my number.
Use the landline. Use the landline.
Exactly, like,
oh, hell nah.
come on, I'm telling you, like, it's they got one of them. They want one of them, so it's just like, I think it's a lot more stubbornness just with, I did it this way, it worked this way, you need to do it this way, instead of, oh, that's how y'all doing it now? Okay, let me learn, because it may be more effective what you're doing. So I feel like that would have been the main thing that would have hindered y'all if the roles were reversed.
Okay.
Interesting. So we have these arguments all the time. Well, I would say all the time. I hear the arguments a lot in terms of the generations, but some of the things we uncovered today seems like the boomers were given a nod the majority of the day. What do you guys think?
I think that's accurate.
So do they need to sit back, or do we need to continue to try to absorb information from them, or do we just give them the respect and say, Gramps, thanks for what y'all did?
Give them the respect.
Yeah. Y'all did y'all thing.
Like,
all right. Take your
can I
flowers,
say,
get off
like,
the stage.
My grandparents.
No, that's
like,
wrong.
I'm not.
I love
like,
you,
into
Auntie.
news and all that good stuff. But like, my
Love you
grandma
too.
keeps me up to date on all that stuff. So like, I don't like when COVID and all that stuff would happen. I don't believe in COVID personally. But like my grandma, mask up. I'm not going outside. Lysol got it 30 bottles for no reason. So like, I feel like because of the way that they are and the way that they were raised, it's like just give them their respect and let them have it. Because like I'll sit there with my grandma and listen to her talk about COVID, and I don't believe nothing in COVID. But I'm gonna give you your respect because you're my grandma and that's what you believe. Because in your day and age, they had God knows what, and it was probably real. But just give you your respect and let you keep talking. Because most of the time, that's what I do with my grandma. Like I listen to her, like we have comments. Well, my grandma's passed now, but when she was here, I go over there and Grandma, what happened on the news today? Oh, well, Ninth and Crittenden got shot up. Southside got shot up. Oh, that's good to know. So now I ain't going on that side. But outside of that, give them respect and let them keep pushing. I don't think that changing how they were brought up or anything like that would change our future. I think the change should have started with at least Gen X. Because y'all acknowledged the change. Y'all wasn't going for it. So y'all should have did a little bit better.
So again, here's the thing, Yana. The natural order of things, again, we just got through talking about how we have politicians from a boomer generation that's holding on to power.
Mm-hmm.
In my line of work, my goal is to develop the next generation of leaders and pass it off to them. I'm aging out, fam. I'm about to ride off in the sunset. This is on y'all's watch. Jim, this about to be on your watch, bruh. Last time I was talking to Sway up here, Hamp, wait, no, that's on y'all. No, I'm giving you the ball. I'm passing you the ball. I'm dropping dimes on y'all niggas right now. This on y'all watch, fam. That's the natural order thing. So for the boomers, yeah, we give them all the respect, all the credit due. But man, take your flowers, exit stage left. Thank you. God bless you. We got it from here.
Yeah, Villa, can I just say something about that?
Thank you for my civil rights.
Well, but Villa, what I'm saying that the youngest, right.
That's
But
how
the
you
youngest
lose.
boomers are
That's how you
57.
lose.
The youngest boomers are 57 now. So if you look at that, well, maybe a little older, but
Wait,
they're not.
57?
No, a little bit older because I'm
asshole.
65. I'm 65. So the youngest boomers are from 58, whatever that is. So maybe
I'm
63,
65
something
and
like
I'm
that.
58, born in 58.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
like
50. So there you go. So if you're a boomer, so they're still young. So to think that they have to all disappear, but the torch needs to be passed. I agree with that part. I really do. And I think there's going to be a lot of Xers. It's going to be more Xers in there than I think you guys give them credit for, because they've been apprentices in a lot of. They're in corporations too. But millennials, are the millennials ready to take over? Maybe they should be. But I just think what is AOC, for example? Is she a millennial? She's a millennial,
Yeah, she's a
right?
millennial.
So those new people, not necessarily her, but they're millennials, so they'll be taking over the government soon, right? You look at the two presidents that we have, man. It's pathetic. 80 years old. I mean, why are they even running for president?
I
I'm
don't know if
a
millennials
baby
gonna get in
boomer.
there
I
like
think
that,
there should be
Pain.
term limits
Hey,
and
Pain,
age limits. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if the millennials gonna get it like that. You see what Hen you're doing over there in Dalton. You see what the super mayor doing over there in Dalton right now, man.
But in spite of what she's doing, though, guess what? When she ran, how much did she win by?
Oh, I don't know. I just know the platform she ran on was
82% of the vote. She had 82% of the vote, and it's nobody running. She has one person running against her now. So even though she, with all her deficits, though, that's the thing. The finesse is so serious that I mean, that she knows how to appeal to the people that she's leading, and all the foolishness that she's doing, anybody else would have been out of there. So that I think that's it's a double-edged sword when you look at it, though. But I think it's always good to show respect to the elders and to the elder generation, and not just push them off to the side either. You can learn. I think you can learn from anybody if you have a mind to learn, if you're willing to learn. So they've experienced things that you haven't experienced. It may not all apply, but I've never that's why I like to say the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And so they know things that we don't know. But I think whoever's open to knowledge, whoever's open to the most knowledge wins at the end of the day.
But my thing is with the boomers, talking specifically about politics, they are not updating these laws fast enough. I mean, we got whole members of Congress trying to figure out how an algorithm works. And how come when I Google this result comes up? Because you always looking at mess up. That's why. That's the first, you know what I'm saying? And then want to say Google is misinforming people. No, that's your algorithm, like, stop.
But that's because we got judges dying in their seats. You feel me? It's hard to remove they old ass.
Glitching out behind the podium.
When they 60, you feel me?
She just dead on the bench.
Put them in the bathroom. You feel me? It's hard to create change when we've already identified that at a certain age. First of all, change people. No one likes change. So if you put an old motherfucker in a place of power, and we expect them to create laws that are adjusting to society and the way things are being run today, aren't we setting ourselves up for failure to an extent?
Yeah.
We're equating wisdom with age, but we know that's just not true.
Jim, it's going to be your turn soon, right? So power corrupts, everybody. So once y'all take over, you're not going to just be leaving unless there's really term limits in that. So whoever takes over, whatever generation takes over, there'll be Gen AA is going to say these old MFers need to get the hell out of there. And they'll be millennials. So every generation purges itself. There's going to be a big purge of baby boomers out of there in the next 10 years. I mean, it's just going to happen naturally.
So, as Ava, it sounded like you wanted to rebuttal something somebody said. Do you remember what it was?
Sure. I'm still back on that response to that super chat where he seemed to think that I was saying, when I said every generation is responsible for themselves, I wasn't neglecting our unity. I was saying that they're responsible to glean from the generation before. Everybody's responsible for their own behavior and what they absorb into their mind and what they study. Like, we're all responsible for ourselves. So that's what I meant. But we all have to pass along the knowledge, like Kylie Beth was just explaining so eloquently. So that's what I was saying. I wasn't saying for us to just be separate. So that's what I wanted them to understand, because that was bothering me.
Okay, but you do agree that we should give you guys y'all flowers, y'all get off the stage.
No. No, why would we get off the stage? I think you should try to glean and try to take everything that's in my mind and absorb it and learn it and dissect it and add to it and then pass it along. We have to do that, or else
we can do
what
that
is
with you off
history?
stage, Jackson. We can do that with you.
Take a bow, Auntie. Take a bow.
You could be in the orchestra pit directing traffic.
We want you in the audience now, Auntie.
Yeah, we could just
it's your turn to be an audience member.
Every time y'all say something, we just give y'all candy.
No, I haven't given you all that I have. I have so much more to give.
But it's like we've endured enough, so like we should be picking up like from the bits and pieces that y'all have given us. I think we got enough to to continue on and maybe
I thought
do a
you
little
said
bit
you
better.
wanted it. Are you changing? What in the world?
No, the
See how
thing is,
quickly you guys change?
No, Auntie,
That's
we
ridiculous.
do want it. We do want it. We just want it at a rate in which we want to choose. And I think that's where the disconnect is. Y'all always want to give advice that isn't always necessary in every situation. So
I don't need a history lesson every time.
Come and ask for the advice instead of you being on a pedestal preaching. Let us come and ask for the advice. And then when we come to you, give good advice. So you can still have more to give.
Or make a safe space for us to want to ask. Because if you continuously preach to me or give me a history lesson every time that I talk to you or ask you something, I'm not gonna keep coming to you because I asked you about how to get a man. Why are you telling me about slavery?
And Auntie, a lot of us wanted this advice from our parents, which would be the Gen Xers. So it's no shade to you or anything. A lot of us just wanted to hear it from our parents and we didn't get it. So it is what it is.
Then you have to seek it from someone else. You can't just say, I don't want it now because I didn't get it from them. You get it from who you can get it from.
No, but the point they're making is that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So, if they're not willing to receive the information, just telling them is not a good thing. So you got to wait for people to try to get it from you. So, because now they'll be receptive to what you have to say. And so
they don't
I
know
understand.
when they're ready. We have to know when they're ready.
I wouldn't say that. These are adults.
You can't tell somebody when they're ready to receive something. And back in the day, Amp used to give me a lot of great advice. I wasn't mature enough, and I wasn't able to receive it at that time. But Hamp talking to me now as a 22-year-old young woman, I'd be able to receive a lot of stuff that he was saying back then and understand it and not be so combative.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh yeah, you're young. You have a little excuse. But you're a woman when you get your menstrual, right?
I understand that.
Okay then. So you guys gotta come on up. You become a woman long before 22.
What did that mean? What was that analogy?
See, this is what we be talking about when we be
right. Because what did my menstrual have to do with anything? I know I'm a woman. I might not look like it all the time, but I'm sure. I'm not confused, not a part of that clan.
Well, you're leaning on being immature. You shouldn't say that. You have to what?
At a point in time, I think everybody is immature. I think I'm still immature. I mean, I think we're all immature in a certain way, no matter how old you are. My mom's 58, my dad's about to be 60. Them niggas is still immature. I don't care what nobody said.
Well, that's not a good thing. That's not
I mean,
cute.
I don't. My parents playing around like kids. That's immature to me. That's immature.
Oh, okay.
I mean that's them joning on each other. That's immaturity.
Oh, okay.
It's not a bad thing. It's just immature.
Oh, okay.
Am I wrong?
I'm really immature then.
Okay, if you want to call that immature.
No, I want to be
okay,
I want to be the fly on the wall for that. Would they be cracking on each other? What they be saying?
They going crazy. They be going crazy.
I don't know how to not to.
They be in there like Def Comedy Jam. I want to see this.
Def Comedy Jam Central in here.
But
Boy,
I will say with baby boomers, I always feel like you
going.
have to give them a hypothetical. You can't
Let me
tell them it's for you.
Let me clarify one thing. So,
Right, my friend said,
if a girl gets a menstrual, she should be thinking of like a woman at that point.
"Oh, is that what that analogy was? I did not get that. I didn't get that."
No, I'm asking for clarification. Hold, y'all, slow down.
That's the only
ABC.
difference between a girl and a woman is a menstrual.
Well, does it make her able to have a child, or are you saying that automatically makes her a
Yes.
woman?
Can I
have a child?
So,
Yeah.
wait. No, you can't ask a question right now. Hold on. So you're saying because she can now have a child, that she's automatically a woman at that juncture?
What makes you come from a girl to a woman, other than a menstrual?
I'm asking, are you saying the menstrual is literally what makes you become a woman?
Yes.
And a woman is strictly biology. Becoming a woman doesn't have any growth or understanding or brain development or anything?
Not necessarily. You become a woman biologically.
Okay. And so with that being said, you're saying 22 isn't an excuse because you've been a woman for 10 years already.
Definitely not an excuse.
I'm sorry. 12-year-olds aren't women in the head.
Well, hold on.
So
Yana had a question.
But you're not.
I have a question real quick, but I agree with that.
Oh, hold on.
So-
Yana had a question. Let her get it, and then Callie, you could jump right in. All right. Oh, who was that? That was Callie, right? Yeah. Okay.
So
Go
you're
ahead, Yana.
saying you're supposed to be mature because you've had your menstrual. So if that's something that makes you mature, you having sex, does that make you a woman too?
No, I said you become a
I mean, it was a
woman,
question.
but not necessarily your faculties, the way you think.
Okay, so with having sex, does that make you an adult because it is an adult act?
Wait a minute. What is an adult act? What do you mean? Because adult
have
changes
sex,
depending
right?
on what state you're in. You could become an adult at different ages.
Okay, so if I was a woman, I mean, I don't get that. Never mind. I can't get my question out. All right.
Just think biologically, science. Just think
biologically, science. Yes, I'm a full grown. I mean, I'm a woman because I menstruate now. But I think there are other acts that a young woman could be like, well, I've done this, so now I'm a woman. There are a lot of young women out here who be like, I've had sex. I'm a woman. You can't tell me nothing. Right?
Well, that's their maturity. If they think they are a woman and they think they know what they're talking about, and you're still being immature, then that's them.
Then
if
I can
you
say the
still
same
want to
thing
be
for the
immature
fact
at
that you just made.
22, and they've decided I'm going to be a woman at 16 or 13
well, I can
or
say
whatever,
the same thing
because my
I mean,
faculties think that way, then why are you mad?
For you being able to be a woman just because you get your menstrual, I think that kind of is the same
No,
thing.
I said biologically.
Yes,
biologically. Woman. That's all I'm saying.
That's all she's saying. Don't read more into it. That's biologically. So let me ask you, A, just real quick.
Hold on, real quick. Callie Beth actually had a
I'm sorry,
follow-up.
Kelly.
So if it's just biologically a woman, then why did you speak to her mindset and immaturity and reference her having her cycle then? That's two different things.
Thank you. That's the thing I was asking.
Wait, say that again? Why did I speak to her mindset with
No,
the
you were speaking to her mindset as a woman, and you based that off of her having a menstrual cycle when we all know that you can.
No.
Well, no. I mean, that's what you did. I'm just saying.
No,
that's what
I
you
said
did.
biologically, the difference between a girl and a woman is a menstrual.
Right, but you were talking about her maturity level.
Hold on,
the premise
y'all.
of the conversation was her maturity level.
I didn't catch you, Kelly.
I said the premise of the conversation was her maturity level. That's what you were referring to, and that's why Yana was like, "Wait, why'd you bring up my period?" Because we
No,
all
I
know that you can
clearly
get your
said
period as young as 8, 9
biologically.
years old.
No, I clearly said biologically. She
I know
was
what.
saying she was still being immature, and her parents are immature at 68 or whatever, however old they are.
Well, I met Hamp in high school, and I didn't get my period until high school. So I think I was okay to be immature at that time. I was a late bloomer.
No. But you're conflating what I'm saying. I'm saying biologically. That's it. Now, when you decide to bring your mind up, that's on you. And you didn't bring your mind up at 22. You're telling us you're immature, right? Is that what you said? That's why you and your boyfriend didn't work out, because you guys were immature.
Oh God, I feel like I'm.
You said that.
Right.
But it had nothing to do with you having a menstrual. You already had that, but you were still being immature.
I think we lack emotional, and like we just lack the emotional maturity, because emotionally you should be able to communicate no matter how upset you are with your partner, what's going on with you. Not, hey, I need to go take a walk because I'm so pissed off right now. Or I'm gonna break a window because I'm upset and I am not gonna go hit the punching bag or the tire. I think that was the emotional maturity that we lack.
Can I ask Ave? Can I ask Ave one thing? So, what about a man? Is it when he has that first wet dream or that first ejaculate that makes a boy into a man? Is that the same thing? The biological change when his testes drop?
Is that what happens? Because I really don't have a clear understanding on.
Yeah,
how it
essentially,
is a man.
essentially,
yeah.
Yeah, so probably, yeah.
Well, I guess that should be more clear when he's able to produce sperm. And there's a certain age when that happens, when he turns from a boy into.
Is there any other changes that makes you a man from a boy to a man?
No, but no, from the biological standpoint,
Right.
would you consider that the same as a young girl getting the menses, just biologically, not maturity wise, but just biological?
What, that makes her a woman?
Okay, so would that make a boy a man once he can ejaculate?
Not
I know
sure
you're a
about
woman,
that
but
one.
it's not the
If that's the
equivalency?
only difference that you did when you were a boy, you're saying you didn't ejaculate, and then at one point you began to ejaculate.
A certain age. You get to a certain age. You don't
Yeah,
have one when you're little boys.
So being able to ejaculate is the equivalent of the woman receiving her period. You can't just ejaculate until it's time.
So yeah, you're a woman, so you didn't think about that. So yeah. So there will be a whole bunch of people. You'd have to be real specific that you're talking just biologically, because nobody would consider. I know you did, but it's easy to be missed when you talk about that from that standpoint. But now I understand you better. So
yeah, that's all I was saying.
Okay.
Because we all mature at different levels. By choice.
So the one thing in your favor is this, though. I swear, when your daughters start having their menses, your conversation as a woman to them has to change at that point. Has to. So I can understand it, because they need to know. They need to be armed with information. They do.
Honestly, they already got the information. They really not dependent on the parent to tell them.
I guess that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a problem. It should that should be happening from the time that they're a child, in my opinion, and it should happen if you wait until that time to begin to have the conversation, it's too late.
What conversations do you need? Get them some pads or a tampon and call it a day.
A lot of conversations.
You have to have conversations, just general, like if you just stick with biological, they're just a general conversation. You should be having hygiene conversations. You should be having safe touch conversations. Those kind of conversations should be being had.
That's all. Come on.
That's important because
Can I
what
add real
happens is
quick?
what you
Oh,
don't talk about, if it's not expressed, later on it becomes taboo. And then they're afraid to talk about it. And that's why we have things now where people are just finally speaking about things that were inappropriate that happened to them, because the people that they loved and trusted the most didn't build a rapport with them where they were able to say, hey, this is that you don't have to allow someone to do this, or you, if you feel uncomfortable, then you should be able to say something. Not, on the flip side, you'll hear people say, hey, I came to my mom and they were like, well, what were you doing? Were you being fast? Those conversations should be being had from the time that they're children, for boys and girls, what their body, what's happening. Hey, listen, in a little while, your armpits are about to stink. You
What's the
need to have
value? What's the value again? Just in terms of articulating the value of having those conversations. What's the value?
the value is that you instill value in them. When you begin to tell them, hey, this is how you maintain cleanliness, this is how you care for yourself, this is how you keep up your hygiene, that instills value in a child. So now they know that they are important. They know that they have your body is precious. This
Okay.
isn't to be shown to just anybody.
Okay. And then what is, if it doesn't happen, what are the potential negative repercussions?
The potential, you're unaware. You learn lessons from people that may not have your best interest at heart. You're easily manipulated. You're unsure of yourself. And then it breaches the relationship between you and the parent, which should be the strongest bond, because as you find these things out, you start to wonder, why didn't the people who are closest and most influential to me not have the conversation?
Okay. As Ave,
Yes.
that seems like it makes logical and valuable sense to me. What say you?
That's just book sense. That makes no sense, because if I were to ask how many people have had that conversation, but without it, didn't know to wash their armpits or between their legs. Did you need that conversation? Did you even have it? Because most of us are saying we didn't have that conversation with the ones before us. So without that conversation, did you know you stunk and you need to wash?
I would say,
It's
yeah.
not just the washing; it's the how to wash too. Okay, so like you have the whole thing.
Well, Callie, you can answer, but before answering, in terms of what the question was asked, you can answer the entire question, and then you can maybe dive into the minutia of douching or whatever y'all do.
Why is that gonna be the first thing? That's the only thing that come to
I
mind.
don't know. I'm not a girl. I
Y'all
don't know
come
what.
up with women stuff. Can I go after her, please, Callie?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes,
no, I
ma'am.
mean,
Right.
I don't see how you don't understand and how you can how you can categorize that as just book sense when we know that that is actual practical. You actually have to do these things. You have to do these things, understand why you do it, so you can pass it down to your daughters and to your nieces and all that kind of stuff. I mean, no wonder we had 16 and pregnant and all that kind of stuff like that. No wonder we had high pregnancy. No wonder. I'm looking at my mom like
Do
she
you
an
think
outlier, but I'm looking at you and I'm like, dang, that's the same shit.
I don't need to tell my daughter not to get pregnant at 16 for her to
Oh my
not get
God. Okay,
pregnant at
you know,
16?
Ham, I'm gonna take a break.
You really don't. You know, some things you just God gave you innate sensibility to know. You know, some people don't grow up with parents. So what do? Just run
So,
amok?
so,
You know,
so
I've
ask
learned
Eve.
things without my mother telling me. Some
No,
things you just
we're
gotta
not taking.
know
We're not
as a
trying to
person.
discredit. We're not trying to discredit common knowledge. You know, I think that's what you're referring to. Like, okay, if my armpits stink, wash them. If my vagina is smelling different, wash them. That everyone understands that, but we're saying as a parent, when you know that your child, because you were referring to biology, so let's just go from a biology standpoint. When you know at a certain age your child is about to start experiencing these different things, they are unaware and unfamiliar of those. But as a mother, just biology wise, you've already gone through these changes. So would it not be advantageous of you as a woman to explain to your child what's about to happen to her body and the best way to take care of her body, so that she's not in middle school and her period comes on and she's bleeding and everyone can see blood through her tan pants?
I've seen that happen to
or she's
grown women.
sweating.
That'll happen. That'll happen. But here's the thing. My mother didn't have to sit and tell me all these things for me to know.
Can you
I
answer
mean,
my
when
question?
you get
Answer my
something.
question.
Go ahead, Jim. What?
Just answer the question though.
Do I
Isn't
think?
that
No.
outrageous? Like,
No.
so you don't think that it's important to let your daughter know or have those conversations to help assist her along through it on top of the common knowledge that she has? Because common knowledge doesn't tell you how to, put in a tampon or to do this or to do that. All the things that women need to do to keep their bodies not just thinking.
No.
So can I? Okay, so can I? Damn, what was I about to say? I forgot.
It sounds cute, but I bet your mothers didn't sit down and tell you how to wash your.
My mom. So men. There's actual way that you're supposed to wash your vagina. Learn that because it wasn't common sense. You can't just throw a bar of soap down there. It'll burn real bad. So I didn't learn that through my mom. She just, it's like, hey, don't put a bar of soap down there. It's gonna hurt. And then
your mom had to tell you, don't put a bar of soap.
My mom told me go wash my ass. So what did I go do? Grab the bar of soap and wash my ass. Just figured it out, right? But also I was an athlete. I wrestled and I played basketball. I got my period in high school. So my first time playing basketball with a pad on, my pad came off. I didn't wear compression shorts either. My mom wasn't the one who showed me how to put a tampon in. A basketball teammate did. That'd have been something that would have been nice to know and not have a group of girls have to show me and laugh about it. I mean, it's cool. I figured it out after because a group of women showed me. But like that type of stuff isn't just like, oh, do that.
Were you an athlete?
Were you an athlete? Did you play any sports?
Certainly. But I said,
what sports did you play? Were they like sports? Like,
were they what?
What sports did you play?
Softball, basketball, volleyball, badminton.
And all those sports your mom told you that maybe you shouldn't wear a pad. You should probably wear a tampon. So you just said, hey, I'm going to put on a tampon.
Did your mom encourage you to wear a tampon?
Actually, she didn't.
She did or?
She did not. I think she disagreed.
Okay.
My mom never told me. She never told me anything about tampons. I started using tampons on my own because I had that embarrassing moment in the middle of the court where my pad fell off. So I think that would have been something that would have been nice to know from my mother. And it could have been nipped in the bud a lot easier. And I would have been made. I'm not even at that, me being 22 years old. And now I'm getting a little more comfortable about talking about stuff with my mom. But it was never not a safe space, but she never made me feel comfortable enough to come to her about those types of things. You're my mom. You've seen all my parts. But for me to actually sit there and have a conversation with you about, hey, when's your period? Or is your period coming? Or are you okay? Are you on your period? Like that type of stuff, it was always a touchy subject because my mom never made it a safe space for me and my sister to do those type of things. We were always with my dad. My mom was the one that was always at work. My dad was always at home. So what about those types of females like that have a dad and be like, just sit on the toilet and wait for your mom to get home? Or sit in the tub.
Is that what happened? You said 3 sisters and you guys couldn't communicate with each other?
No, it was just me. I'm the middle child and I have an older sister. My older sister, she did martial arts, so she figured out that stuff on her own as well. So my mom, it wasn't like a, hey, do this because you're going to be grappling and wrestling with men all day. It's just, I just don't think that's common knowledge at all.
But I mean, some children could benefit from it. I'll concede that, but it's not always necessary.
Okay, so did they have like a sex ed when you were in school? Because the bullcrap sex ed that I had, I didn't learn anything about sex or physical education. I can't tell you the woman's anatomy.
Did you do sex? Did you have sex without learning it?
Yep.
There you go. You're making my point.
I mean, it really doesn't take much to lay there, especially for your first time. You don't really.
That's all you do.
Exactly. So, but with your menstrual, it's not the same thing. So, I'm confused. Where's the correlation?
Figured it out. You just said you figured it
We're
out.
not saying that, and that's not the point that anybody's saying. We're not saying that we can't figure it out. We've already established that the baby boomers and the Gen X's and Z's, whichever one, had just pushed niggas out there and be like, hey, figure it out. You didn't die, did you? Yeah, I didn't die, but it would have been nice to not have to come close to death. The whole situation could have been avoided if you would have learned how to communicate effectively. And
how old
as
were
a
you?
mother,
Last question. Were you like 13, 14, something like that?
I didn't get my period until I was 16.
Well, then you should have been well-versed in reading.
Well-versed in reading?
You should have read the box. Callie,
I read the box. I read the box, but that's what I'm saying. Even reading instructions, how would I have known? I went into practice with a pad. My pad fell out of my underwear mid-practice. What do? I'm embarrassed in this moment, and there's a bloody pad sitting on the floor.
So what did you do?
I ran off the court and picked up my bloody pad and sat in the bathroom like my dad would have told me. Sit on the toilet to your mom.
How the heck did a pad? I don't want to. I don't understand. I've been to school. I've never seen anybody's pad fall on the floor while they were playing basketball.
Well, mine was only in some very shitty underwear. It was Victoria's Secret underwear. Maybe that's where I messed up.
Unacceptable. You wearing Victoria's Secrets and don't know how to put a pad on?
So
you know, Victoria's Secret make regular drawers, right? They're not all lacy and all that kind of stuff like that. They make regular granny panties.
I wear granny panties and boxes. That's it.
All right, let me hold on. All right, let me. That shit, I'm getting fucking disgusted, man. I can't.
I know this is disgusting.
So here's the.
Why did you let this go on for so long, Ham?
So
I thought they were gonna work through it. Hold on, let me read the super chat. I thought they were gonna work their way through it. It became super circular, so I'm like, okay, it's time for me to jump on in. Hold on, Rilla. Ariane with the 2000 says, can you pose which generation? Okay, we did. Hopefully we got to answer it well for him. Valerie with the $10 says, good night too. You did a good job. She was talking to Ro. Hank with the $2 says, Yana is being honest. Shout out to her. That was earlier. Andre with the $2 says, kudos to Yana. She's genuine and authentic. No cap. Red Pill with the $5 says, chivalry is dead and women killed it when they started having sex and any old loser that made their coochie throb. Chivalry is a fool's errand now. Jeez. Valerie with the $5 says, Ro, you did good. I messed up the $10 super chat. Red Pill Ranger with the $5 says, we can't use opinions, feelings, and anecdotal evidence in these conversations. Black people aversion to stats is disgusting reeks of mental illness. Damn. Ariane with the $2 says, boomers talk like Yoda Jedi mind masters. Big Bad Boy with the $5 says, what generation is Lil Bruh blaming for him getting a panel with the do-rag though? What generation is Lil Bro blaming for him getting on the panel with a do-rag though? Like Lil Dude's perspectives though. That's my young
Jim.
boy. Shout out to Jim, bro. John with the $5 said, stay-at-home moms, quote unquote, were more commonplace amongst military families after a certain rank.
Yeah.
Red Pill Ranger with the $5 says, they weren't simps back in the day. They had women that were worth doing that for/with. You would not a simp if she qualifies, earned it, aka return on investment. Hank, the basement with the $2 says, our pain was turning over that check to the missus. HQ with the $5 says, when men brought home their checks, their family got further, had more together, and felt a sense of family more. Today they selfish with making the family first. Ariane with the $2 says, black men don't vote, neither go to church. We call bullshit. DG with the €2 says, salute him. What's up, DG? Salute to the panel. Jerice have children, B.
Shout out to DG.
John Henry with the $5 says, Red Pill Ranger, a swathe. What is that word? A swathe?
Swath.
Swath. Okay. A suave Gen X woman back then qualified for 100% treatment, quote unquote, because they quote unquote understood and agree with this program. Ariane with a $5 says, if we reset right now, grandpa ain't making it and no one listening to them. This was a trick question. It's obviously Gen Y or Z working together. Joel Pentegard with the $5 says, do y'all know how hard it is to spit game when you couldn't call her until 9:01 p.m.? Nights and weekends. Sounds singular, real shit. Valley with the $20 says, put her in the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Yeah, Val, I don't have it scrolling. Remember, it usually scrolls when I say dollars equal minutes, but yeah, this is just a stand. What is it called? Stagnant panel. Closed panel, maybe, right? The red pill ranger with the file says, if you can't receive when it's given, that's a you problem. You can't dictate when and how. I tell you, it's a dinosaur in the basement. Go on down there. August with the $5. What's popping? August says, it's crazy how Ask Abe is trying to downplay Yana just to be right. Clear example of the problem. Caesar's Pals, what's popping with the $2? Says, I'll ask Abe. You're a sweet lady. Romello with the $5 says, Boomer said this with me. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone.
Wow.
Damn. Go ahead, Rilla.
That dog at Ham. Now, you know I'm old and I might have forgot the question by now. I got dog it.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
All right, I got one more.
No. It wasn't no question. Go ahead, read that.
Yeah, this is the last one. Ariane with the $5 says, it's a reason why Joshua and Caleb led their children of Israel home, not Moses in the previous generation. Sometimes we need to move on to the promised land.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. I was just gonna say, what we witnessed was a disconnect, a sincere disconnect. I think one of the, because I saw it in her face and I kind of felt that one of the reasons I think Callie got upset when she said, wonder why we have so much teen pregnancy, especially rampant during Generation X. The disconnect though is that Yana during Ask Abe's generation and Major Payne, Dr. Payne, Mr. Payne, a lot of stuff that we talking about was sincerely taboo. And in her time, she wouldn't even really be addressing you. Do y'all remember seeing that clip with Maya Angelou addressing that young lady on the Oprah show? And how she kind of checked her in them. Like, that's how that generation used to move. Is certain things are taboo that they wouldn't even have those conversations with their kids other than don't bring no baby home. That was the message to like my mother and a lot of women from that era. Mm-hmm. Don't bring no baby home. And that was it. However you figured out how you wipe your cootie cat, however you figured out how to wash your stinking tail, that was the instruction. Go wash your stinking tail. Don't come in here smelling like outside. That was it. So that's the disconnect between y'all. It's and I don't think y'all gonna get to a landing place because I think Ask Abe gonna stand on hers and Hamp need to move the show.
Well, I hear that really that resonates. I just ask a parent, if you could save your kid some trauma, would you? I think if you can answer that question logically, then to edify on things that which they were discussing would make sense. All right, we get it. People face hard shit, but I'm talking about being traumatized by something like that. That's hard to recover from. So if you could save them from that with edification, would you do it?
You can't even anticipate something like that happening.
It's just a yes or no.
So
I couldn't have saved her.
Okay.
Shouldn't have happened.
You can. I mean, as a parent, I think that's your responsibility, and that's why I say it's good to listen to the older generations. A lot of things that I do with my children now, they're things I've talked to my mother, talked to my grandmother, things that they wish they had done differently, or things that what they know now. If I could go back, I would do it this way. And some of those very things, some of those very things are the reason why I parent differently now. I appreciate what my parents did because I know they did the best that they could with what they knew. But as they gained more information, they were like, hey, by the way, we didn't do this with you, but this is something that you can put into the mix. And that's what we do now. We do more, better with whatever it is that we learn. If I learn something on the panel today and I can apply it to make the lives of our children better, that's what I'm going to do. That's my responsibility. You can't look at somebody and tell them you love them and get information and not do something with it to make the life better.
Yeah.
You agree?
Man.
I agree.
It's a hard thing, man. Getting people together from different generations. You think it's the same for other people in different cultures? You think they had the same conversation? Do you think that their conversation is rooted in music? Or you think that they're saying, hey, our culture consists of this?
They're
So you
talking about
think
culture. They're talking about traditions. They're talking about, the things that they carry down. Their grandparents are teaching them lessons. They're holding on to those sorts of things. They're
you
I
think
think I
there's
passing down culture.
well you
They
think
who?
that
Who's
well
doing that?
let's take some of the Asian populations, including the East Indians. Are they having conversations like this with their elders?
About music and like pop culture and stuff like that? Definitely not.
Yeah, and like get your ass off the stage.
Yeah, nah, definitely not.
Why?
It's just a certain level of respect in certain cultures. Like it's just I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say black people, but black people we pretty combative. You know what I'm saying? We a little combative. You know, we know it all. So I'll say this.
I think it's Black Americans, though. It's not. Yeah, I think if you were talking Asians or some African folks who still have their culture, they wouldn't have the same kind of conversation.
Have you seen Africa?
No, no, I'm not saying Africa, but they do have tribes, right? They do have traditions. I'm not saying they're perfect, but no. And the answer is no. I haven't.
Yeah, I mean it's
But I know I do know some Africans, and I do
Mhm.
know they stand on a lot of culture more than other people, and they're not the same as African Americans. Nobody is. I think we're unique in the black space.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, no. Well, here's what I'm saying. Let me say this real quick. I think we're unique from the standpoint that we got black skin, but we're Westerners.
Yeah, we're not all the same.
No, I'm not saying we're monolithic, but we're Westerners. We're born in the Western culture, and we've been here for generations that way. The impact might be different because of the experiences we had since Jim Crow and all that, but we've been emancipated for 80 years or some shit like that, and we've been through a lot, and we're still here. And we have a unique way of looking at things, and I say we got an F because we let the social engineering take too much precedent over the way we move, and I think that's a shame, because we were a powerful force in the whole world. I think Black Americans are the most powerful Black people in the whole world. At least we could do. I mean, Nelson Mandela would have died in jail if it wasn't for us.
So let me ask y'all this. Yeah, that's true. Let me ask y'all this. In terms of the conversation, how should it go in a perfect world? Should it be like the elders talk first, they get asked a question, or does it depend on pop circumstance? Is it the like a subject matter based? Like how should the conversation be conducted? Because if we're saying these people are more respectful than us, what does that look like? So, like for instance, we start talking about football, would it behoove everybody else up here to shut up and let me talk, regardless of age?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, because you're the expert on that field.
Ask Yana, she know.
I'm gonna say between the two of y'all, between you and Jim, yeah, I would ask you, but like you haven't been playing football for a while, so I'm gonna ask Jim if I'm asking something about like something current. But I want both inputs though.
But what if I
both
taught him
people-
what if I taught him everything he knows? You still gonna ask him?
But that's not possible for you to teach him everything that he knows.
Did you ask him?
I mean, I was there.
So did you ask him?
Asking that there's no way for you to teach him everything that he knows because he's still playing football now. So even the stuff that you did teach him, he's still adding to.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
You gotta ask him. No. So like for instance, at his school now, he's like, Coach Hamp, I keep on misstepping here. So I'm like, here's the reason why after watching this film. So it's a hyperbolic statement. I understand that, but it's actually close to the truth in terms of all the techniques they learn. But what I'm saying, I just use football because there's people up here that have that reference point where I'm just giving it a hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about watching football. I'm talking about like real, actual. What would you do here? How do you do this technique X, Y, and Z? You know, not like who's my favorite team type shit.
I think I would want both. I would want both perspectives. I don't think I would. Yeah, I think I would just want both perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Yeah, I would come to you more just because you're able to see more. Like you see more of the field, and you would understand what I'm not understanding because I'm on the field.
But
Like you
think
see what I'm
about,
doing.
but Yana, think about this. And you have actual context, and look how long it took us to get to that. Is that actually a bigger? Does that actually expose the issue, right? And there's like comments that say, "Well, everybody should get up, be able to talk." But I said, in terms of like opening it up, right? Who should open up the conversation based on the subject matter? But everybody want to get a turn. Do we ever concede? You hear the conversations all the time. Everybody right, everybody only trying to prove a point all the time.
I think
I'm not even talking about here. They know I'm just talking about just you know how the conversations go.
I think to start the conversation, as like from your very first question, from headliner, let Gen Z headline it, and Gen X should finish it.
So headliners go last because they're the biggest name.
Okay, the other way.
Z is the opening act.
Opening act. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, Z is the
opening act. Yeah, that's
Gen Z would be the opening act, and y'all should be the headliner.
Here's the thing, though, Ham. We have gotten so far. Like we bought into this. Try not to cuss so much because I know it's boomers on the stage. But we have bought into this concept. I'm serious, fam. We have bought into this concept, this BS concept of individualism, where we just worry about me and mine. So when we have these conversations, to your point, because I'm sitting up here thinking about it, I'm like, we know. Well, we don't know from the observable eye, right? It seems that in other cultures, the entire village comes together. And the elders are passing whatever, oral stories and so history, legends, tradition, heritage, all these things down through the babies, and the babies picking and run with it. And then, but also, because Dr. Payne is a griot, and that's our history of oral tradition, right? There's a hierarchy and a structure to where the younger know to wait their turn. Here's the other thing, though. The elders have to know when to hand off the rock and dish it.
Yeah. True too. Drilla, you just made it, because even when I was just talking about Jim just now, and Jim is who was just up here. Y'all know he plays college football with him. So he'll send me this stuff and say, "Hey, coach, what you think about X, Y, and Z?" To your point. Like, I don't be like, "Hey, Jim, you doing this, that, and the third." I'm like, "Oh, good play." I might allude to like, there's an opportunity, but I'm not usually pouring it on. But he'll be like, what you think? You know what I mean? Which makes it easy for both people to kind of say, okay, you want the critique, and it's easier to accept it if you ask for it.
Listen, that when people are soliciting your advice, brother, that's the best conversation to have, right? Because they value your opinion, they want your insight. When you insert yourself into something without saying, "Hey, do you mind if I, like at work, I have to, hey, do you mind if I share my observation with you?" I'm the leader. You know what I'm saying? And I say, "Hey, can I share something with you real quick?" Because I want them to be in position to receive it. Those are the best conversations to have, man.
Yeah. 100%, man. Damn, man. Shit like that. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. And I wanted to say, like, I kind of hand selected purposely because I wanted to make sure we can have the conversation. I didn't want it to be super duper divisive, and I wanted it to be more, let's get through it, have some laughs. And if things get hot, right? It's natural, But what we learned today is, with all the generations present, with people who want to get a solution or at least an understanding, that the boomers actually, and maybe the other generations failed. Like I could say that, but from what we got today, the boomers actually deserve a little bit more like applause, right? Because when we dug into it, we kind of experienced like, okay, they got some more positive, and we'd be like, man, the hell with the boomers, because of everything we potentially experienced from them being our parents. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe we got to do it again. But that's one thing I pull from it. You feel me? Damn, man.
No, I have a strange perspective, and I'm aware of that, and I own that.
As Abe, yeah. So when I do final thoughts, you can say all the weird shit you want.
Oh, did that say final thought up there?
No, I don't say nothing. I was just in the middle of the sentence.
Because I can't see.
But the boomers don't care who talking. Mr. Payne do that to me every time we get up there.
Yeah. I'm a boomer at heart.
he be cut me off. He say, "Really, you ever hear Mr. Payne say, 'Can I ask a question?'" So when I said there gotta be a breath, between somewhere.
Smooth motion.
So salute, man. Damn, man, this was interesting, man. Salute to y'all. Let me make sure we don't got any more supers. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody. Salute to everybody who was here today. You know how it go. All the people who be on YouTube, you know, if it's not the exciting shit, you know, people like, oh, there's no beef, I'm out of here. But we consistently have 400 people here, which is what I just appreciate everybody. That's all. That's the bottom line. August with the $2 says a lot of our generation talks in riddles. Of the older generation, talks in riddles. And then sees the palace with the files. We act like the new generation is giving great advice to kids these days. Y'all need to stop coming for Ask Abe. I bet Ask Abe kids are doing just fine. Oh, man.
Wow.
Damn, man. Awesome show, man, for sure. I'm definitely going to clip this one up. It's going to be cool.
Hemp, everybody ain't going to go, G. I know you were saying, like, hey, when we have the constructive conversations, people tend not to show up, right? In droves like that, but you get your consistent numbers. And I get it. Some of the entertainment and the effery, that's cool, man. But at some point, we do got to get down to the business. I have nothing but respect for my elders and for those that are coming behind me, and I try and pour into them. And so everybody ain't gonna go, fam. The ones that's with it, they gonna ride out. The other ones, I don't know, G. I'm just coming to that realization, man. I said in that auditorium today, it was the auditorium holds 400 seats, right? It's at my old high school. They were having a leadership symposium for principals for CPS. And I could tell you right now of the black teachers, principals, assistant principals throughout Chicago that were invited, there wasn't enough to fill up the first 3 rows, brother. So everybody ain't gonna go.
Everybody ain't gonna go. Damn, we gotta dance one more time. Salute to Lauren Mack. Let me put C in the I had to walk my dog. Make love, see dance in the Boomers dance for the first time. Real quick. Appreciate you, Lauren. God damn, where is that video? There it go.
Weather outside is humid. She turned up her location. She must think I'm stupid. She wanna.
Wait, what?
C, is Love C dancing? Let's do it.
We love Love C.
Let me put Callie in my spot. She can show you how to do it.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
All right, let's
Weather
go.
outside is humid. She turned up her location. She must think I'm stupid. She wanna run the street, so let her ho, let her ho, let her ho.
Mr. Payne, we can see you're supposed to be moving to the music. You know that, right?
Okay.
Weather outside is humid. She turned up her location. She must think I'm stupid. She wanna run the street, so let her ho, let her ho, let her ho. She doesn't show signs of stopping, so who am I to be cock blocking? I really hate to see you go. Let her ho, let her ho, let her ho.
Love C, thanks for nothing. Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, yo, Hemp.
Shout out to Love C for making the millennials look good.
Dr. Payne ain't got no rhythm. Hey, shout out to Ask A. She was up there doing the Watusi. You know what I'm saying? The funky chicken.
Yo, man,
the mashed potato.
Jarice held
Auntie
it
was
down.
about to hit the Tootsie Roll. What the?
Hey, really?
I was just new to the game.
Hey, really, our page started dancing. I thought he put his headphones in. I said, he must have had a different beat he wanted to dance.
Okay,
man.
you're not supposed to laugh at the old guy.
Hey, you get a,
You know I'm still.
you get an E for effort, man. You get an E for effort.
Man, where's Chi-Town when you need him, man?
Oh yeah, shout out to Chi-Town, man. Mr. Payne, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's a good panel. Wasn't exactly what I expected. Because every time I come up here and they talk about boomers, I'm ready for a battle. So I'm glad that wasn't the way that was. Because I don't like to blame any generations. I think what we miss is that I have a whole list of things that happened from the 60s to where we are. that help inform the way we behave.
Mm-hmm.
There would be too much to talk about, but there were some watershed things that happened, including like the Vietnam War, the assassinations, the end of old pensions and stuff like that. So this was a good panel. I think you probably can do more of these, but I think we have certainly have a long way to go because of Black communities. I think it's in trouble, big time.
Word.
Well, let me just land it there.
Indeed. Ask Ave. Any final thoughts?
Oh. Thank you for having me on the panel. And I tried to create some chaos. I do that everywhere I go. I watch Carly Bev very, very often, and she's married. So I listen to a lot of things she says, and I really do enjoy her perspective. Just not tonight. But I just think that we can bridge the gap. We really can. We can have more conversations, but you guys really gotta show us a little bit more respect. Put some respect on the boomer's name.
We do respect y'all. Now get the F off the stage.
Man.
Love you, Auntie. Bye.
Final
Like
thoughts.
you too.
Let everybody get their final thoughts clear. Let's not even if it's bullshit. Yana, final thought.
Final thought. Happy to be here. First time. It was great. Love you guys. Y'all are so great.
Good job.
Perfect.
Last Gen X, millennials, the women, we're killing it for sure. And I just hope that we could get better eventually. Yeah.
Word. Callie.
Well, it was fun. It was fun. I thought it was gonna be just the 2 generations, but you got all 3, and I think that was real dope. Whatchamacallit, I think that the bridge.
Four.
Oh,
Four
yeah,
count.
4. Ooh, see? Brother man.
Mm-hmm.
On the 4th floor. But look, I did have a good time. We just had a little disagreement, almost got heated, started windmilling. It's all good. I do appreciate the boomers for my civil rights. That's about all I can say that's really nice. You know what I mean? But, I know that Gen X has our flaws and everything like that. And I can recognize that. And I can, as the middle child, we can kind of see where things were going cool and then where things start to fall off. And it's obviously in the middle. So there you go.
Word. Jerice.
Appreciate you for having me on the panel, Hamp. You gonna have to find some like-minded individuals like you and Jim if y'all gonna steer this thing we call the Black community back around, man. You know me. I'm an outsider looking in. I want to see if y'all have the solutions. I'm not actively trying to build like y'all, but I just want to observe the thing and see where it's going. So it is what it is.
Word. Rilla.
Brother, thank you for having me up. I appreciate you, man. Very dope panel, very dope conversation. I hope everybody was able to take something away, right? I just want to read this quote. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And I say that to say we can't keep finger pointing. As Generation X, we can't keep finger pointing and talking about how bad the music is or how they dress or how they sassy and I'm talking about Generation Z. We can't keep because they're my babies. We gotta invest and pour into these young bloods, right? We gotta invest and pour into them if we want to restore or rebuild and reclaim the community, as Jerice was saying. So, $ DJ Hamp 1, hit that Cash App, hit the like button, the share, and the subscribe. That helps the channel the most.
Indeed. Word. Love Z.
Thanks for having me on the panel. I enjoyed the conversation. I like the generations coming together and learning from everybody. Even though millennials are still the best generation, it was good to, talk to everybody else. But I like these kind of conversations. It's good. Get you thinking, questioning what you think and listening to everyone else. So I appreciate hearing everybody's perspective and great show as usual, Hamp. Great show.
Indeed. Thank you, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for obliging me with coming through. And it wasn't really much. It was like, hey, do you mind to be a part of this? And even Callie, I asked her like 10 minutes ago. Ayana, I even talked to her directly. One of my other players, Devin, salute to him, got her, and she was at work changing tires and made sure she came through for Coach Hamp. So I appreciate
Good
it,
shit.
man. It means a whole lot. That quote always resonates, you know. But as we have this conversation, I'm understanding why, because people are working so hard to provide a better life for the kids. There's so much instillment in the kids that may be missing, and I think C was 100% correct. It wasn't on purpose. People was getting it out the mud, getting it how they live, whatever they were facing, and they were just trying their absolute best, you know. Like, so I know for a fact, my son Hamp the Fourth, his rough house ain't gonna be like mine because I have 3 brothers. So my rough house is on like a 9. You know what I'm saying? But I know I can get him to at least a 6. You know? So, but it's just naturally because your brothers will hurt you by accident, you know. Usually, you know. So it just, but I know I can get him further, right? And so I think the soft times come because of all the pain people putting in, and they don't always have that time to instill all those values, you know. So you can create a great life, but you gotta pour back so his rough house can be at least a 6.
Is that Chubbs? Is that Chubbs?
Yeah, Big Chug. Yeah, Chugga
Chug. Okay.
Yeah, Big Chug. He in the 99th percentile in weight, but the 25th percentile in height. Like a bowling ball. So yeah, man.
Shout out Big Chug, man.
Big Chug, man. Salute, Big Chug. I gotta acknowledge the super chat. Y'all can hang out or y'all can roll if y'all want to. And then I'm gonna get up out of here. Damn. Oh, Wife School became a member. I didn't even say that. Thank you, Wife School. Appreciate you. Salute to being on the panel with you too over at TJ's network. Salute to RBN. Dario, man, top 3 supporters for sure. Dario, she's his pal. There's so many people. Andre been locked in when it was only been 40 people in the chat, you know? So I never forget. Salute to E-Dub, became a member. Kenny, thanks for checking in, my brother. Salute to Shanae, man. Good shit yesterday, even though your stats was, oh my God.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
HQ, I need to get your email, HQ. Matt P, salute. I think Matt went to bed already. Salute to Isaac is always here. Fat Boy, good job on the panel, man. I'm glad you got a light in that room. We can see you. I don't know why Triple Black was bothering me today. Salute to Triple Black. Ariane was in here. Appreciate you, my brother. Salute to John. Yeah, I didn't drop the link today. I kind of kept it like this on purpose so we continue to just flow a little bit, you know. Salute to MC Heavy Tits, always here to support. Romello, appreciate you, bro. You know you always put the battery in my back. You said we're gonna get to 100,000 in the next 3 months. I believe you. Who else we got? You can't make this up. Salute. Of course, right? TJ, right on time, man. Make sure y'all go. If any moderators left, please drop. Well, really here, shit. See if we can find RBN's channel, if you don't mind, and really drop your shit too. You know what I mean? Mr. Payne, are you a moderator? I don't think so. He talking on mute, of course. It's very stereotypical.
God dang boomers.
Yes, that's his yes, man. I mean, listen, I was letting you talk. I put myself on.
No, I appreciate it.
You forgot you was on mute, you boomer.
I appreciate it. Leave me alone. Jerice, make sure you drop your channel. Mr. Payne, make sure you drop your channel. You know.
Yeah, I ain't a mod over here, Ham. So somebody gonna have to drop it.
Put a message in the chat, and I'll fix that. Salute to Miss
just
Deb.
my name.
Yeah, I'm saying put a message in the chat so I can fix the moderating thing. Salute to Miss Deb. Let me make sure I get that clear. Mark, thank you for locking in with us. T.O., my boy. Big Bad Bull, man. Top 1 moderators, man. I ain't seen Vince in a minute. I hope Vince is good. He probably working his ass off, but salute to Big Bad Bull, man. Valerie, you learning the super chat system slowly but surely, you know. So I appreciate you. My brother Joel. So next week, I'm putting together a panel of all singles that actually had a conversation in terms of what's really happening out here. Oftentimes we had that conversation where it was mixed, like people married, just getting out of sudden divorce, like people who maybe not coming through any of that trauma or already spoken for, so we can have a real conversation. So I'm saying that because shout out to Joe, he helped me kind of understand to put it together properly. You feel me? Salute to John Henry again. Tatum in the building as always, man. You've been locked in for a minute too. Zagu, appreciate you, my brother. You've been here every day since the last 2 weeks. Job been locked in with us. Thank you. Shout out to Ashton, crazy ass, of course. What else we had? Scuba Gooden been locked in for a minute. Thank you, bro. Who else we got? I don't want to miss anybody. Got Valerie. Hank stopped through. Thank you, Hank. I know you usually stream today. I know I already got my brother Andre. Red Pill Ranger, man. Thank you, bro. You always here, man, locked in with us for sure, man. I appreciate it wholeheartedly, bro. And once again, congratulations on retiring from the military, getting your deserved they call it disability, but I think it's earned. God damn it. You know,
you feel disabled when you get out of there.
Yeah, you feel me? So I know they use it, but I just, the fact that he got what he deserved, at 45 years old, now he retired, like that's good shit. You know what I'm saying? He also a great example. He married, his son's doing good, just good shit. Salute to DG. DG, be safe over there, man, wherever you are. Where DG? He in Germany, I think.
Yeah, he's somewhere over there in a white country.
August, another military. August, you still in the military? I can't remember. Salute to Caesar's Palace, man. Caesar's Palace been locked in from day one, man. Biggest supporter. Whatever we need to get done, he'll help get it done for sure. Romello, once again, I got Romello. Salute to Lauren. Appreciate you, Lauren. We're gonna definitely get you acclimated to these panels for sure. Rock, did I read this? I didn't read this. Rock, what's up, Rock? With the $4.20 says, "Oh, I see what you did there, Rock. I see what you did there with the 420." Said, "What did a generation listen to? When did a generation listen to previous generations? I don't know if ever, bro." O'Shea with the $2 says, "DJ Hamp, you one of the greats. Thank you, bro. Up there with O'Shea. Hey, man, I don't know about that, but I'll take it as a compliment for sure. O'Shea, man, he's great. He's great." Damn. OGJ Speed was popping with the fellow says, "I heard someone could do a crossover and you come out your shoes, but never a maxi pad." Oh my!
Shout out to the OG, man.
So I got a panel. So real quick, I got a panel. In terms of doing that panel with the singles. If you're interested, hit me on This Might Be Risky on Instagram. And if I got a slot, we could definitely fill it. Tomorrow, I'm reviewing the conversation from yesterday, but from a different lens, though. I do it 11 a.m. Central Time. The pot calling the kettle is what I derived from that conversation yesterday.
That was a good panel yesterday, though, Ham.
No, it was good. And in my analysis, I'm assessing how the conversation went, not necessarily all the data. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something I noticed, so I want to go through it, see if I'm wrong. If I'm bugging, I'm bugging. You know. So, salute, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Cali, real quick, where can they get one of these from?
Oh, No Muzzle Gang. He's an artist, No Muzzle Gang Snipe. You can go ahead and hit me up on IG. Send me a DM. We make custom T-shirts. Send me the colors of your shoes or a hat or whatever, and we'll get you down right.
Indeed. Salute, Callie. I love y'all. Be safe, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. The cock calling in the kettle. We're gonna pull that mirror out tomorrow, hopefully. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna get no work done all week this week. Yeah, we're having some good shows for real.
Yeah, I'm doing it tomorrow because I'm traveling on Friday. Because I usually do it on Friday. So, yeah, man. I'll be dropping the link. We can cut. And like I said, if I'm bugging, I'm bugging. That's it. I love y'all, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.